On this beautiful November Saturday in the mountains, we get set for a showdown of rivals. It's the Blue Ridge border battle between the Bucks of ETSU and the Catamounts of Western Carolina. Huge postseason implications for the Cats in this one on Ingles SoCon football. And hi, everybody, and welcome in with Jay Sonhalter. Pete Hannity, well, Western Carolina lost an absolute heartbreaker last Saturday against Mercer. They can't win an outright SoCon title, but they're very much in the playoff on an FCS.
Well, how they responded to that adversity, Pete, is going to be the name of this game, and the tough ball game, but they really feel like they had a good week of practice and so much to play for with this ball game and potentially next week. They need to go 1-0 this week, worry about next week, but with the playoffs on the line, I expect them to come out and play their best game here today.
Well, let's focus on the offenses. They're kind of tooled differently. ETSU's is built around the leading rusher in the Southern Conference, running back Devontae Houston.
He's been outstanding running the football. He's been the reliable option in this offense for Will Healy. His ability to run 6.3 yards per carry with the big plays. He's also been consistent, moving the chains, being physical in between the tackles. He has good hands as well in the passing game, but watch for them to really rely on this ground attack to set up the play-action pass. And over on the other side for Western Carolina, Teron Dickens has just been fantastic. One of the best in the country. His accuracy stands out. Last week, a huge game, 551 yards with 7 touchdowns through the air. The way he moved in and out of the pocket to spread out the defense was just at an elite level. He can take the top off a defense with his arm strength, but that intermediate area is where he's been so accurate. Look for him to really get off to a good start here today.
So all sorts of implications with this game for the Catamounts as far as postseason play is concerned. Let's get more on that. We head down to the sidelines to Dave Friedman. Dave?
Man, oh man, Western Carolina was so close last week to going to the playoffs. And yeah, it wasn't official, but if they beat Mercer last week, only one more win this week or next week probably gets them in the postseason. And it went wide right. The kick against Mercer in the final seconds sailed wide. Mercer's the automatic qualifier from the SoCon. That doesn't mean Western can't still make the playoffs. They must win today. They must win next Saturday. But the argument would be, Jay, when Teron Dickens has been in uniform, they certainly look like one of the 24 best teams in the country.
Kick is away. It'll be a touchback. And yes, it's hard to argue that Western Carolina is not a team that would pass the eye test of the committee if they can win this Saturday and next Saturday up at VMI.
Those two big wins will be the key here. But you're right, Dave, 6-1, and this is a team that checks the box for me, the way they play with Dickens when he came in here. And he's reeled off those 6 victories, and this is just one of the best offenses in the country and a fantastic season that they want to really peak here at the end of the year.
We did a game last week at Chattanooga where they had switched quarterbacks due to an injury situation. Well, they have used 2 quarterbacks this year, Cade McNamara, who had previously been at Michigan and Iowa, and Jacoby Criswell. McNamara out with an injury, so Criswell, who also was at the Power 4 level at both Arkansas and North Carolina, is in to start. Hands off to Houston. Penalty marker comes in. Might be a horse collar tackle as he is taken down to the turf promptly. But let's see what the penalty is all about as Jalil Anderson got in there on the stop. Bruce Austin leading our Southern Conference officiating crew today.
There is no foul for face mask. Second down.
So they were determining if Anderson had grabbed the face mask of Houston. Devontae Houston is having himself quite a season. 4 games with a couple of touchdowns, 4 games with 100 yards. That's him standing to the right of Criswell, who's out of Morrilton, Arkansas, and looking to throw for the first time with pressure coming. Gets the pass away, and he completes. It's Ephraim Floyd, top receiver. That's his 56th catch of the year. He leads the passing game for ETSU. And boy, with Floyd, a guy with those 56 catches, and is closing in on a 600-yard receiving season. He is second in the Southern Conference. Razzle dazzle from Houston to Floyd. Back to the quarterback who fires. And the pass will be ruled incomplete. So they went with the old reverse flea flicker. Nothing doing.
And Floyd had that first catch, and there pitched it back to Criswell, then had a block. The defensive secondary did a nice job, though, covering up the wide receivers.
Taharon Sudderth was the intended target. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Criswell, bullet over the middle. Ball caught in stride. And on the run, Jeremiah Harrison, a freshman, into Western Carolina territory on a big game. So, Jay, give us your keys to the game.
Oh, for ETSU, make Houston a problem. Really rely on that running game to give issues to the Western Carolina defense. They've got a tame Tiger. Try to keep him in the pocket, limit the big plays, and for the Catamounts, big play day. They want to attack over the top, and then that front 7, they've got to slow down Houston and be physical at the point of attack.
And with Hassan Sykes leading the way, a loss of about a yard on that 1st down carry. Catamounts coming in defensively way down there in the SoCon. They played some wild games like last week when they were in that shootout in which they allowed nearly 50 points. They can usually outscore you, but they do believe their defense is improving. They've gotten more aggressive as the season's gone on. They can run with anybody. Criswell fires, reaching up. Floyd, and another 1st down for the Bucks as they continue on the march here early on in Cullowhee, North Carolina.
Criswell has a strong arm. This was a slant route right over the middle for Floyd. Precise there, cutting to get the defender to the outside and then broke it inside. This offense has looked good with rhythm here early on.
Floyd, another one of the many transfers from Gardner-Webb. That's because Trey Lamb came from that school in Western North Carolina at ETSU a year ago. He was just there for a season, but many guys followed him from Boiling Springs, North Carolina to Johnson City, Tennessee. 1st and 10, Criswell throwing again. He's got his big target, and the ball is caught by Charlie Browder, the tight end. And another 1st down, now in the red zone of the Catamounts. So a good opening drive here for the Bucks.
And Browder, 6'7", 255 pounds on the corner route, just boxed out the defender. And there was a tight window, and just goes back to Criswell's arm strength, getting that ball in that window.
Bucks middle of the pack in SoCon red zone offense. Faking the end around, Criswell, he's a big guy and tough to bring down. Good open field tackle inside the 10-yard line, but another positive play as Bo Simpson-Neely made the stop for the Catamounts.
And Criswell had 6 carries in his last ball game, and here a little fake, and they'll use him, the zone read here, getting to the outside where he can be dangerous with his legs.
So it's 1st and goal. Criswell, designed run, and met. Might have picked up a yard. Hayward McQueen, junior out of Fort Lauderdale, on the stop for the Catamounts.
The Catamounts have to deal with Houston and the quarterback run, and we just talked about the keys. That front 7 with the defensive line playing in their lane and the linebackers playing over the top. They've got to get penetration to slow down that second-level blocking from the offensive line.
Kerwin Bell tells us that he thought his group played championship defense in the 4th quarter last week as the Catamounts got back in the game, were able to take a late lead. Here's a handoff, Houston, and he's sitting near the 5. They're going to need that kind of effort here today. ETSU has been effective offensively this season. They're 3rd in the SoCon in total offense. They put up 600 yards against Sanford last week against obviously a wounded Bulldogs team. But they're also 3rd in the conference at 31 points a game. Big 3rd down upcoming here. 39% this season on 3rd down tries for the Bucks. Criswell trying to extend the play, incomplete. Good job pressuring him. There is a penalty marker down near the goal line. Trying to get the ball to Harrison. And
offensive pass interference.
Penalties being declined. I believe they called offensive
Pass interference off is number 19. That penalty declined. 4th down.
Xavier Guyardet's the guilty party. Catamounts decline. We will see the field goal unit. Ewan Johnson, 10 out of 13 this season. And this will be essentially a glorified extra point distance. And Johnson's kick on the way and good. So, 21-yarder, probably the shortest field goal he'll kick this season. But ETSU with the ball first, striking first, a 3-0 lead here in Cullowhee. Huge, huge game on this November Saturday on Ingles SoCon football. Will Hilly just saw his offense move 12 plays, 71 yards, took 4:30 off the clock. They get the short field goal out of their kicker, Ewan Johnson, and they go ahead and take a 3-0 lead. First season for him, but in his third college stop with prior engagements at Austin Peay and at Charlotte. His season could have gone a whole different direction with some close outcomes. More on that back down to Dave Friedman. Dave?
Well, it's been one of those years for ETSU where they're at 500, but they feel like they could be 9-1. Losses to West Georgia, Mercer, Furman, and Chattanooga led all four of the games in the fourth quarter. In fact, against West Georgia, the game-winning score came with 15 seconds to go. Against Furman, they gave up 3 scores in the final 7 minutes and 2 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes. And at Chattanooga, it was 3 touchdowns in the last 7.5 minutes and 2 touchdowns in the final 2.5 minutes. And we talked to Coach Healy about it this week, and he said, you know, it gets contagious. You get in a rut and you think, here we go again, but ultimately I'm responsible for this, and I didn't do a good enough job, but we did come back and we did beat Wofford, and he feels like they've gotten over the hump.
I thought it was interesting that he noted that he got into a bit of a rut. Dave was alluding to the fact that he said, you know, I'm thinking we should be 5-1. If you do that, you look up, you might end up going 3-9. So you got to wash it off real quick, all that heartbreak, as Dutton returned out to the 18, and Teron Dickens and the Catamounts. First snap in the flat, Braden Blackman, and the tight end gets out to the 25-yard line. James Tyre, guy to keep an eye on. He has been some kind of threat this year. 59 catches in that offense.
And only a redshirt sophomore, and he's been the big play wide receiver for Dickens and Kerwin Bell. Just a fantastic year with his route running ability and continuing to pick up first downs. He moves the chains.
They're trying to beef up the running game. Branson Adams missed some time earlier this season, but with Pat Boyd back there, Markel Townsend has given him some good work. They got a good young running back who got hurt, Kamari Reed, here at Western. So he's missed some action. And Adams, again the guy, and he'll bring up second down.
Now that running game is going to be important. We know how good this passing attack is, and defenses watch film. So there's going to be some opportunities in the run game. The offensive line has to do a good job creating lanes for the backs.
Dickens throwing the home run ball early, and he overshoots the intended target. He was trying to get it to Malik Knight. He's really picked things up. He's a junior out of Fort Lauderdale, second on their team with 42 grabs. It'll bring up third down.
There's some pressure in the backfield on Dickens, and that's what this defensive line has to do. They've got to be able to get pressure with their front 3 and 4 when they move their alignment around. They like to play with 5 defensive backs the primary amount of time and to give different looks.
Right about a year ago, he made his debut and got them a huge win against Chattanooga, throwing near side Dutton. Locals wanted a flag thrown on Kelly Johnson, the cornerback, on the coverage. And we will see the punting unit for the Catamounts. So they were able to move the chains once, but ETSU's defense stepping up. Buccaneers defense that's been right up there among the top 3 or 4 in the conference all year long in the key stats.
This is rare for the Catamounts to punt, but the defense doing a good job as one-on-one on the outside of the secondary, staying in covers, not allowing easy throws for Dickens.
Stephen Brantley averages about 45 yards a kick. Saw him earlier in a game here, hit 176. This is a wobbler. And just beyond midfield, not sure if someone got a hand on it for ETSU. So good field position to start out for the second series offensively in this game for the Bucs offense. We'll come back with that in a moment. Early on, ETSU, a 3-0 lead in the Blue Ridge Border Battle on Ingles SoCon football.
The mission, sneak inside, give out Pepsi, don't get caught.
Just try it.
Alright.
Trust me?
Pepsi makes the carne asada taste even better.
Right? Well, I gotta go now.
You just got here. You can't leave yet.
I've been here for 6 hours. Wow. Thea, you are so strong. I have some more? More. Wow.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, it's my 3rd plate. Go without me. Just save yourselves.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Mountain Credit Union is your guide through every season. Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. This time of year can bring more than just chilly mornings. It can bring extra expenses too. At Mountain Credit Union, we're your neighbors and we've got your back. From holiday budgets to heating costs, our affordable rate loans and savings tools are here to keep you prepared so you can focus on what matters most. Because at Mountain Credit Union, commitment to our community isn't seasonal. It's who we are. So stop by one of our local branches today or visit mountaincu.org to learn more. Insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Lender.
In Cullowhee, North Carolina, on Ingles SoCon football, presented by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. And with Jay Sonhalter and Dave Friedman, Pete Hannity with you back at Whitmire Stadium. Nice turnout. What a beautiful day. What a crowd they had in here last year. What an atmosphere for that battle against Mercer. And playing a rival this week, again, electricity here at Whitmire Stadium. Catamounts' final home game of this regular season. Hoping to get a win and stay in the hunt for a first postseason bid since 1983. But the Bucs would love to have something to say about that and hang on to the trophy. Criswell pursued. He will simply throw it away. Great job on the attack defensively that time by the Catamounts, Sean Morris.
The fans wanting intentional grounding.
There is a discussion right now.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The ball made it beyond the line of scrimmage, and he was already outside the tackle box.
And so Bruce Austin doing a really good job. That's something that I really appreciate him doing. the mics have been on officials now for years and years, but to give that kind of clarity, sometimes you just get the call from the official and the referee and nothing else. But I thought that described it well. So it's 2nd down and 10. Criswell off play action over the middle, connecting. Cole Keller leads their tight end room. That's his 17th catch of the year, and another first down in Catamount territory.
And right over the middle, Keller, the tight end, they'll move him in line and out in the slot. Another slant route, middle of the field. Safety's playing cover 2. They've got to cover up spot.
Houston, they've relied more on the arm of Criswell so far. Top running back in the Southern Conference. That's his 4th carry. Brings up 2nd down, gets a couple. Houston began his career at UConn. Criswell going deep. Overshooting Kareem Page. Right there with him was Cameron Dabney. Jay, we've seen Western play quite a bit this year. You look at their defense, you see some talented guys. You look at the numbers and you just wonder why they haven't been better in certain areas. Some of that may have to do with the nature of their offense, scoring so quickly. You could look at that. I mean, they've been in a lot of shootouts, and that's just kind of been really how things have gone. Kerwin Bell's had a nice run here in his 5th season, but they have been in a lot of high-scoring games. McQueen able to wrap up Houston in the flat off the dump-off pass. And now 4th down, so Will Healy, a decision to make. Wind isn't really a factor. Bucks this year have gone for it 19 times, been successful 12 on 4th downs.
They're gonna stay out of here on the field, have confidence in their offense to pick it up.
And perhaps trying to simply get a jump and make it better than a 4th and 7. Play clock down to 3. And Will Healy will go ahead and call the timeout. So they couldn't get the Catamounts to jump.
Timeout.
Let's see what comes from this timeout.
First charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
If indeed we see the offense again, or if he sends out his punter, Nate Brackett. ETSU Bucks in this Blue Ridge border battle. Well, they've met over the years 54 times. This is the 55th meeting for Kerwin Bell. 5th time he's gone against ETSU. And well, last year was a 24-21 victory in Johnson City for the Bucks. Last 10 matchups have been split 5-5. You see Kerwin Bell, he has done a fine job guiding these Catamounts, his 3rd head coaching job, 2nd on the D1 level. And I know the folks here in Cullowhee have appreciated the fact that he has brought energy and excitement to this Catamount program.
It's a lot of fun to watch this team play, and you can tell the energy is there by the crowd support, the fans, the community really coming out here, and every week watching this team. They've been able to put on a show and really had a great season.
Catamounts defense 8th in the SoCon in 4th downs. The offense for ETSU 3rd, having converted 12 out of 19 in this situation. And the O back out there for the Bucks. Criswell. Pocket collapses, breaks away, slides, and he should just have enough for the first down. Gonna depend on where he goes into his slide. He's marked down at the 29. Did he slide too soon? He had to get inside of the 29-yard line.
Western Carolina is saying he didn't get it. Now on the other side, the Bucks think he did, but he slid maybe a little too early. If he could have dove for it, he would have easily gotten it.
That linesman coming over, I think his mark was a little bit different than the official across the field. And a turnover on down, so there you go. So Doug Kennedy, the headline judge, had the angle, and he could actually see Criswell facing him. He was set up on the near side of the field, and he said he went into a slide early, and once you commit to the slide, that's what establishes the line that you've gotten. So 8th time in 20 attempts that ETSU has been unsuccessful on 4th downs. And Teron Dickens and the Catamounts offense back out there.
Well, that's what this defense does. They just find a way to bend but don't break. They get off the field there on 4th downs, and for Dickens to start a second drive.
Again, it's Branson. Able to work his way for a few yards on the left side. Ty Anderson, leading tackler for this ETSU defense, has to sit out this first half because he got a targeting penalty in their game against Samford in the second half last week. So that's something to keep an eye on. Trevor Moffitt, one of their linebackers, made the stop, and not a whole lot happening here, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
With Anderson being out currently, that's a big hole right in the middle of this defense. And he's the guy that really leads everybody and really good in run support is Will Healy over on the sideline. Watch his defense here. 3 down linemen. There's a running play right up the middle. Good job filling the gaps and swarming to the ball.
Catamounts 3rd down and incomplete. And once again, we'll see Stephen Brantley, the Western Carolina punter. So ETSU has figured out the potent Teron Dickens in this Catamounts offense over the first 2 series.
This offense so dangerous when it gets into rhythm, and credit the defense right now, getting off the field and just making things difficult in the passing game.
Brantley's first punt went just 21 yards. A buck might have gotten a hand on it. He has been very good during his career here. A junior out of Pilot Mountain. And that one is also a wobbler, and it's going to go out in ETSU territory inside the 40. So a little bit better than the last effort, but ETSU aggressive in special teams so far. They'll have the ball back when we return to Whitmire Stadium here in Cullowhee. It's a 3-0 lead for the Bucks on Ingles SoCon football. Quite a notable guest for the pregame coin toss. You may recognize that guy. He hit 60 home runs for the Seattle Mariners. Grew up here in the Cullowhee area. Cal Raleigh in town, and there he was just before the game. It's a very special weekend for the Raleigh family. His dad was the baseball coach for many years here, was inducted into the Western Carolina Hall of Fame, and in a 3-0 game down to Dave Friedman with some very special guests. Dave?
Yeah, thanks, Pete. We're with Todd Raleigh and Cal Raleigh, and I'll start with you, Cal. What was it like seeing your dad inducted into the Hall of Fame?
It was awesome getting to experience that this weekend and come back home and obviously get to celebrate him and his accomplishments here. It's very well deserving, and also, great to see a lot of familiar faces.
And Todd, your son, who you coached and watched grow up to have the greatest season a catcher has ever had in baseball, what was that like?
Well, unbelievable, right? I mean, it's hard to explain. I don't know if it's sunk in yet, but yeah, it's one of the most enjoyable things that I've ever had to, get to see, and I'm just very proud of him. And it's like it just never seems to end. It's one thing after another, and just trying to enjoy it.
During your journey to the big leagues and a great career so far, how many things that he taught you do you still think about?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much obviously the foundation, and growing up here in Koloi, going to the field every day, learn from him and all his players, and I still take pretty much everything that I learned and apply it to my season and my everyday kind of game. So it's a lot of fun, and like I said, it's the foundation of who I am.
What does Western Carolina and Koloi mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, like I said, grew up here, from here, spent the bulk of my childhood here, and like I said, a lot of family close by, even blood and non-blood. So getting to be on the field every day around this whole facility, this whole campus, and growing up here was amazing. It was awesome, and like I said, something I wouldn't trade for anything in the world.
Your story of getting to Koloi is a good one. Do you mind sharing?
Well, yeah, it's kind of a little different back in the day. So quickly, I kind of hitchhiked part of the way down here. I walked on, had to stay at fraternity house for about a week because school hadn't opened yet. I hadn't even registered. Went to the registrar's office and said I had my transcript in my back pocket. And they said, sure, we'll take you. And I looked at my transcript. They put me in school. So, I mean, that's the quick version. But, yeah, kind of by today's standards, people are like, that is crazy. But that's the way we did it back then. So it was awesome.
Continued success. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Dave Friedman with Todd Raleigh, the dad, Cal Raleigh, the son. They've meant much to Western Carolina baseball, the Western Carolina community, and now Cal Raleigh to Major League Baseball. And Dave, tell Cal I think he should have been the AL MVP. Aaron Judge just edging him out when they announced the vote the other night. Both guys had amazing seasons. You saw the pass interference call on Cameron Dabney, although he doth protest, and then Houston on the first down carry into Catamount territory. So Todd Raleigh, the dad, played for the great Jack Leggett here at Western Carolina. And Cal Raleigh was headed to Clemson to play for Jack Leggett. That didn't work out. Cal Raleigh ended up going to Florida State. And then, as you know, he has established himself as one of the great hitting catchers of all time. Connecting to Hakeem Maggette, and that'll move the chains again. So ETSU, Jay, looking sharp so far on offense.
Yeah, they're playing really well. Criswell 6 for 10 so far in the ball game for 74 yards. He's been in command. They've mixed in Houston in the running game. For them, though, it's just continuing drives, finishing. They've gotten off the field because they haven't been able to pick up third and fourth down opportunities.
From the 38. Bucks again. They spent a lot of time in Catamount's territory in this opening quarter. And throwing deep and completing for the touchdown. The connection to Jeremiah Harrison leads their team with 4 touchdown catches on the year. It's a 6th thrown by Criswell, and ETSU extends the lead.
And Harrison, one of those big play freshmen, 6'1", 180 pounds from the Charlotte area. This is going to be a double move for Harrison as he goes up and out. And then Pete, he kind of paused there for a second, and then Criswell led him. The secondary kind of stalled, and then he just kind of found a way to create a crease there and get in the end zone.
Johnson on for the extra point try. And it's a 10-0 game. Jacoby Criswell had shared time early this season with Cade McNamara. Will Healy, their head coach, says eventually one of them was probably going to win the job. A couple of guys who came to Johnson City from the Power 4 level. And well, Healy happy he has Criswell available with Cade McNamara.
Dickens Payton Award graphic here because they're going to need him.
That touchdown connection and 6th touchdown toss of the year by Criswell, extending things. So now Western Carolina gets ready to go back on offense. And we'll see if the Catamounts can find some firepower. And Dave Friedman, with Teron Dickens at the controls, you're never out of the game. And, well, today may be a case where they need his very best.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Pete. Teron Dickens leads the FCS in touchdown passes. He's number 3 in passing yards. And remember, he didn't play in the first 3 games of the year. I talked to Sam Herder, national coverage of FCS. He said he's got him probably 2nd or 3rd in his voting for the Walter Payton Award. Zach McKinnell, another prominent voice at this level, said he's number 1 for him right now. He completed the 46th straight completions against Wofford, but they're going to need him, and they've had to rely on him all season long. Down 10-0, Jay. The time is now for Tiger to get rolling.
Yeah, Tiger's got to get it right here on this drive, and I expect him to. The offense out of rhythm, Dave, for those first 2 drives, but you can't expect to hold down Tiger for too long.
And you see the numbers on Tiger Dickens after Dutton returned that kick out to the 26. Leading the FCS are right up there in key categories. Absolute shootout last week with a really good young quarterback at Mercer. And Mercer got the win, even though both teams, for about 5 seconds after the missed field goal by Marcus Trout, each team thought they had won the game in that thrilling victory for the Bears. The pass is knocked down. Not the best of starts for this Catamounts offense. ETSU has had them figured out. Give credit to their defensive coordinator, Chad Staggs. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Dickens, pressure comes, finds his man in the flat. That's Townsend. And Townsend lunging ahead. It'll bring up 3rd down and short.
And Chad Staggs bringing different looks. That was a delayed blitz from the secondary coming off the edge. Kensley Johnson trying to get to Dickens, and he just found it over the top to set up a 3rd and short.
Catamounts 0 for 2 on 3rd down tries. Now we get a penalty marker thrown in from behind the defense, and we're going to get a legal procedure call.
False start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
Stephen Hamby, the left guard, jumping, or at least moving. And that'll back it up. And when you're trying to get a foothold, as we're inside of 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter, 3rd and short looks a lot better than 3rd and 6. Dickens shovels, connecting ahead, and that was a nice play to Michael Rossin, the freshman, to get a 1st down.
There's so much you can do with Dickens and his ability to manipulate the pocket, and just kind of went forward there and found Rossin there with the shovel, and he easily picks it up.
Rossin got into action about 3 or 4 games into the season, but he's become a popular target for his QB. Dickens looking to extend the play again. Will use his legs to at least get some yards and bring up a 2nd down. Shy of the 45-yard line. Catamounts have yet to move into Bucks territory.
His defense has been stingy, and I like how Dickens keeps his eyes up to the last moment, and then he takes off. There has been a pass rush he's been going against.
2nd down and 7. Dickens looked right and said he'll tuck it and run again. And they'll bring up 3rd down. Nick Hunter on the stop, one of their many Gardner-Webb transfers, junior out of Atlanta.
And there they only rushed 3. Everybody dropped back, and then Hunter quickly got off the block.
3rd down and 3. Dickens, high pass, caught by Blackman, the tight end, promptly submarined, and it'll bring up 4th down. Great job in the flat. Javon Oggs out of Mansfield, Texas, their nickelback.
And as a secondary player, you've got to be physical, and going against a big tight end, Oggs was able to bring him down, and they're going to go for it here.
Catamounts on 4th downs this year, 13 out of 24, and you can add to those totals.
I like the mindset. Hey, we've got to be aggressive. We've got to get it going. 4th and short, no doubt we're going for it. They just ran it right up the middle. The offensive line did their job.
That's the 12th time in 16 4th down tries against ETSU's defense that the opposition has been successful. So 1st and 10 in Bucks territory. Dickens looking long, over the middle, firing deep. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Painter Richards Baker. Double coverage on either side of him. Kensley Johnson got a hand on it, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Was this not a beautiful pass, though, from Dickens? As the pressure comes to the outside, he steps up in the pocket and just keeps his eyes up. Here's the 2 edge defenders coming through. Eyes up and then hauls this one. Loft on the ball. It looked like it was going to be a touchdown. And there's Johnson just knocking it loose at the last moment.
2nd down and 10. The handoff inside. Seen a lot of Branson Adams so far. Pat Boyd begins the game as their leading rusher. And that was Markel Townsend, who we've seen on this series. So another 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Catamounts converting their first on this drive. Deep again. Ball was underthrown in the direction of Malik Knight, and he is able to make the catch in double coverage. I can't believe he came away with that.
Great focus here from Knight. Those 2 defenders draped all over him. Dickens just lofts this ball in and allowed Knight to come back to it to haul it in before he hit the turf.
William Wells, the safety, Jimmy Bowdry, the corner, on the coverage. So it'll bring up a 1st and goal at the 10, and Townsend, he's been good close to the goal line this year as the redshirt freshman out of Columbia, South Carolina. Penalty marker is thrown, and Will Healy across the way came about 5 yards off the sideline, the ETSU coach, and saying something to the officials. Here's Bruce Austin.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5 of the defense.
So they get
penalty
boundary.
Be half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down. That's number 5's first unsportsmanlike towards ejection.
And if I could look inside the mind of Will Healy, and I'm not real good at that, I'm supposing he's saying that he was provoked.
Yeah, Will Healy erupted there.
That's the top of the screen. He's on it. So he gets pushed down by Knight. Those 2 had just been involved in the previous pass play.
Oh, and I guess he's saying the shove there on the official may have been it, but Will Healy not happy with that, but this drive continues on.
Catamounts, 4th best red zone offense in the league. In the flat, dump off to the tight end Thomas, and Josiah Thomas will be stopped just shy. It'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
And this is such a difficult play to defend. Credit the Bucs defense by getting out in the flat to bring down Thomas.
Catamounts trying to cut into this 10-point deficit. Townsend, 4 rushing touchdowns on the year coming in. Did he get across? Looks like it's going to bring up 3rd down.
That's the end of the 1st quarter.
And that'll be our final play of the opening quarter. ETSU trying to hang on to the trophy that goes to the winner of the Blue Ridge Border Battle. Western trying to get it back and stay in the postseason hunt on Ingles SoCon football. It was 5 seasons and 4 years ago, 2021, that the ETSU Bucks knocked off Mercer and claimed the outright Southern Conference Championship. They had shared the title with Wofford and Furman in 2018, but they held the trophy all their own in 2021 to claim a SoCon crown. And in Randy Sanders' swan song, leading them to the championship as their head coach, it really was kind of validation even further, since they had brought football back less than a decade earlier, that ETSU was back as Southern Conference outright champs in 2021. Well, they can't win the title this year, but they can impact what the postseason picture looks like if they can get a win here in Cullowhee today. It'll be a opportunity here for the Catamounts. Get a little bit closer, Jay, as we start our second quarter in a 10-0 game. 3rd and goal. Let's see what the Bucks have in store as far as trying to keep these Catamounts out of the end zone.
Yeah, 3rd and goal, but I think you've got 2 downs here to get in the end zone if you're the Catamounts.
Tight set in the backfield. They go Wildcat. And a touchdown. So it wasn't Dickens who took the snap that time. Instead, they went with Jordan Martin Durham, freshman quarterback out of Jacksonville, and he took it in for the score.
Martin Durham, 6'3", 240 pounds. Try bringing him down. That's what they dared the Bucks to do. And just as a bowling ball bullies his way into the end zone. A good play call there, changing up the looks for the defense and driving through for 6.
Depending on what happens after this season with Teron Dickens, Martin Durham, noted out of Jacksonville at 6'3" and 240. He could be a guy that is leading this offense in the future.
Delay a game kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
And nothing routine about that. Best we can tell, that's the first touchdown of his career for Martin Durham. So we will have another opportunity for the extra point try. Marcus Trout, heartbreak last week. If you look at his reaction, he knew that he had pushed the short field goal attempt wide to the right. Extra point try from just a little bit inside the distance of the last time he kicked one in this stadium in a game, and it's up and good, makes it a 10-7 ball game. So the Catamounts get a little bit closer. Dave, down to the sidelines, you've kind of now had a quarter to observe, particularly the Western Carolina bench, coming back off of that just heartbreaking defeat last week. What's the vibe? What's the body language you're seeing?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Pete, because I think we expected there could be a little bit of a hangover. Last week was an incredibly emotional game, went down to the final play. But Western's been in this situation several times this year. They haven't gotten off to the best starts of all time, and they've always kind of regathered and found themselves, and that's what we saw on that drive right there. So I wouldn't say anything about the mannerisms on the sideline or anything, but we've been here before. We're totally fine. We got to go out and do our job.
And again, Kerwin Bell's ball club, when you've got the toolbox that he has offensively, and again, a defense that he says is trending in the right direction under Jerry Odom, a veteran coordinator in his second season with the program, and they can run with anybody defensively, as the kickoff will sail well out of the end zone. Brantley, another touchback. I think they've got enough defense, especially the way ETSU operates offensively. They're not maybe necessarily as potent. They have had some explosive plays this year, but I think the Catamounts have enough defensively to be able to hold up these last 2 weeks against ETSU and VMI. And then, frankly, this team can get to the playoffs. I think they're one of those teams. They're the last team you want to play, regardless of who you are, whether you're one of the higher seeds or not. They would be a very tough out in postseason play. From the 25, Criswell. They've been living a lot so far this game in Western Carolina territory. Play action, bullet to Keller, and Keller, the tight end, with some yards after the catch. Gets out close to midfield.
That's the second slant for Keller over the middle, and third, with Johnson getting one as well. They've really attacked the middle of the field, going in between the cover 2 defense.
Gain of 22 on the play. And the carry on the left side, Jason Albritton, the backup to Houston, their second leading rusher. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Again, pass to Keller. Timing it perfectly. Samari Dukes, the senior out of Miami.
And boy, Dukes read this right off the hand of Criswell, almost an interception. He drove on this ball to knock it loose. There's Keller, quick little hitch route, and you see Dukes just sprint up there to force the 3rd down.
Bucks are 0 for 2 on 3rd downs. They came in at 39% on the season, 5th in the league. The pass is complete, but it's not going to be enough for Floyd. Although he does break away. It looked like they had him stopped, and the extra effort gets him the 1st down. Based on the body language of the Catamounts defense, they acted as if he'd been taken down.
Well, Floyd is strong. He's only at 190 pounds, but he gets hit here initially. It looks like he's down. Then a couple times he gets knocked around. He just keeps his balance and keeps on fighting.
It's a good thing for Western that Ken Moore was there, or else Floyd might have kept on running to the end zone.
And that's why you have to swarm as a defense, multiple guys coming over. You see it, 3 guys missed the tackle, and then Moore finally cleaned it up.
And from Western's perspective, if you get a stop there, you're probably force a punt. Now the momentum starts to turn. But that can be one of those moments in the game we look back at as being a really big factor, depending on what happens with the rest of this drive. As some good yards on the 1st down carry by Albritton, the junior, came to them from Lithia, Florida. Prior stops at South Florida and Ole Miss. Several Power 4 or FBS transfers on this ETSU roster. And then, as we alluded to earlier, a bunch of former Gardner-Webb players that came with the coach last year. Lamb, Albritton busting through again for a 1st down and more.
Who made that
close
big
to
catch
the 20.
was one of those Gardner-Webb players.
We saw Floyd, a Gardner-Webb transfer, make the catch. Pretty much, I marked their Gardner-Webb players with red ink on my chart because there are just so many of them. In fact, 3 of their best receivers, Floyd, Page, and Meggett, all came from Gardner-Webb. And their defense is loaded with a bunch of guys,
including Ty Anderson, who we'll see in the second half.
Transferred in. 1st and 10, just outside of the red zone at the 21. Off play action, Criswell, wide open Floyd, but he overshoots him. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
And they're really using the play action pass to try to get the ball through the air to Floyd. And Pete, back to the missed tackles on that 3rd down, missed tackles, that last run.
Jay, did you think
missed
that was
tackles
a late hit
as well.
on the quarterback?
That's you've got to clean that up. And see here as Criswell comes back to the line of scrimmage, he might have got hit a little bit late. They let it play through, but he got hit as he threw that ball about a beat after, and it could have been a penalty.
He's listed at 6'1", 230, looks actually bigger than that. And it might be when you're the one hitting him, you may feel a little bit of it as well with that size. He's a tough guy to bring down. Here's a pitch, Houston, looking for room in the open field as he comes toward the sideline. Dabney forcing him out. So with all that play action, and defensively, you always have to have your eyes on the right place. How does that impact that perspective from the defensive player's standpoint?
Well, you've got to keep your eyes on the keys and see where the ball is, because if you take a misstep, if you hesitate, that's all it gives the offense, is that little hesitation or getting out of alignment to get beat over the top. And that's why you do that. That's why you have success running the football, to get those linebackers especially pulling up so you can throw over their head.
3rd down and 6. Criswell, pocket collapses. He's sacked. The ball is loose, and the Catamounts have it. Big time hits from either direction.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
Jordan Thompson coming up with the loose football. Maybe that'll be a big momentum changer. 20th sack for the Catamounts defense this year. Let's take another look.
This is where this defense really excels, is getting the big play, bending but not breaking. And here's the pressure coming right up the middle and on the backside. Excellent job getting into the backfield. Justin Wallace with the pressure, and then Jordan Thompson picking it up right there, giving the ball back to Dickens. But some missed opportunities for the Bucks. Even though you have the 3-point lead, they feel like they could have more here, and the defense standing strong.
4th sack this season for Wallace, the junior out of Miami. And that is a gigantic play, especially after ETSU had converted on that Floyd play. Nice one-handed grab coming out of the backfield, and a really nice catch by Braden Blackman, the tight end. Gonna go for a first down. Blackman building a nice game. That's his third catch.
He's a versatile tight end, playing in the wing and the slot, in line, and they highlight him in the passing game. That defender was all over him.
First and 10 at the 42. Dickens, the handoff. Townsend runs into a wall. So Teron Dickens, who for one of the few times since he's returned to play in their fourth game of the year against Samford, was not in there for a scoring play when they went to their freshman quarterback out of the traditional shotgun, but it looked more like a Wildcat setup for their first touchdown. But he's hoping to lead a TD drive, and he fires over top of Malik Knight. Looks like the linebacker Trevor Moffitt might have gotten a hand on that. Did we mention they've got some Gardner-Webb transfers? He was there. The guy he backs up, Ty Anderson, their leading tackler, who's sitting out the first half because of targeting in the last game, he came from
Trey
Gardner-Webb.
Lamb must be able to recruit.
Just amazing. 3 of their linebackers are Gardner-Webb guys. They're 2 deep at one of their corners, both Gardner-Webb guys. I'm not sure how many may have moved from Johnson City with Lamb out to Tulsa after last season. Townsend trying to stretch it out on third down. It's going to be a 4th and short decision at midfield for Kerwin Bell.
There's no hesitation. This offense is going to stay out on the field, and tell you what, this defense, you've got to watch the hard count. Can't jump off sides.
0 for 1 on 4th downs for the Cats. Completed for the first down. At the 45 of ETSU, and now some extracurricular after the whistle. James Tyre on the slant, his 60th catch of the season.
He just always comes through. He's the go-to guy when Dickens needs somebody to step up. When he's looking for a big play, he goes to 16.
Dickens looked to his right. Now he's looking for room to run. Has a blocker, has the open field, puts on a move inside the 20. Finally taken down at the end of that play by Ryan Barrett, the safety. But the Catamounts are back in the red zone.
This is creativity from Dickens as the flag is thrown. It looks like this is on the Bucks, but this was supposed to be a passing play. Dickens just takes off.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 18. Half the distance to the goal. From the end of the run, automatic first down.
Now to put the ball at the 8-yard line. ETSU jumped out to a 10-0 lead in the opening quarter. Catamounts started out this second quarter with their first points of the game, and now looking to take their first lead. It's a low-scoring game, particularly by Western Carolina standards last year, when ETSU was able to prevail 24-21 in Johnson City. First and goal. Dickens with pressure. Finds the opening, gets inside the 5. Took a hard hit on the end of that play. And it'll be second down and goal. Brian Alston, defensive end, had dropped back and laid the hammer. From the 3-yard line now, a second and goal. Townsend, he's been a touchdown machine close in this year. And looks like he stopped just shy. It'll be third down, and there is a Catamount offensive lineman down on the play. So they'll attend to the injured Catamount player, and we'll give you an update on him when we come back. Got a timeout here in Cullowhee. Catamounts threatening to take the lead on Ingles SoCon football.
Mountain Credit Union is your guide through every season. Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. This time of year can bring more than just chilly mornings. It can bring extra expenses too. At Mountain Credit Union, we're your neighbors and we've got your back. From holiday budgets to heating costs, our affordable rate loans and savings tools are here to keep you prepared so you can focus on what matters most. Because at Mountain Credit Union, commitment to our community isn't seasonal, it's who we are. So stop by one of our local branches today or visit mountaincu.org to learn more. Insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Lender.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the Warhorses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Western Carolina keeping the ball on the ground. Marco Townsend trying to get in the end zone, fighting for extra yards. Coming up so close as he falls right short of the goal line. And Western Carolina here is going to have an opportunity to get another touchdown on the 1 yard line.
They will be without their starting left tackle, Evan Carney. He has just been carted off. He was the injured player, so we'll look to get an update on him later. Let's take another timeout. It'll be a 3rd down and goal upcoming for the Catamounts. They're trying to get the trophy back in the Blue Ridge Border Battle on Ingalls SoCon football. Now we'll hear from the band at halftime. Such a wonderful performing group, adding to the atmosphere here at Whitmire Stadium on this November Saturday afternoon on Ingalls SoCon football. So it'll be a 3rd down and goal upcoming for the Catamounts. Dickens back out there. That's Townsend to his left. Western trying to erase the early 10-0 deficit and take the lead, and Townsend into the end zone for the 5th time this season, and the Cats are on top.
And a response here. 10-0 lead for the Bucks. Western Carolina coming back strong with a couple drives. Keeping it on the ground. This was a zone play to the right. Townsend with his vision saw the cutback lane, easily got into the end zone. Now this offense is starting to play with more rhythm and confidence here the past 2 drives.
Trout on to make it a 4-point advantage. And he does, remains perfect on the season. 44 out of 44 on extra point attempts for Marcus Trout. Take another look from short in. This time they went left side.
Yeah, they just go over to the left side, and that backside cut angle from the tight end and the left tackle swiping down allows Townsend to get in. And with that running game going, it's going to open up the passing attack for Dickens. I just like the balance that they're playing with. The offensive line is starting to get into a groove, and Dickens looks very comfortable in the pocket.
Catamounts 9 plays, 71 yards, but the very impactful play on defense to get them the ball when it looked like ETSU may be able to add to what was a 3-point lead. You had the sack by Wallace and the fumble recovery that followed that. Jordan Thompson coming up with it. Catamounts defense forcing an 18th turnover on the season. They've been really good at that over the past couple of years. That's part of the Jerry Odom defensive philosophy. Do whatever you can to get that ball back for this potent offense. Here's a run up by Brantley, and Houston will let it sail over his head. Another touchback. Brantley's been really good in that category. Ian Williams of Furman has been among the national leaders in kicking the ball out of the end zone on kickoffs. So now the Bucks will try to see if they can regain some momentum.
Well, they've had a couple impressive drives. They just haven't been able to finish. That last drive, they were moving, doing a good job executing, and then you have the turnover. They want to try to put it together here and complete this off with a touchdown.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line. Criswell so far in the game, 10 out of 16. This time he hands off Houston. Relatively quiet so far, but some angry running right up the middle, and he gets close to the first down line. Eighth carry so far for Houston. That's his best run of the game. Second down and 1. They stay on the ground, and they get the first down.
And really, a commitment to him is so important for their offensive game plan. I think he's got to finish above 20 carries, and right now on track for that, but just continue to give him the ball, and you expect him to break loose. He averages over 6 yards per carry. He's been so successful throughout the whole year.
You can't have a play-action game really successful unless you've established the running game. And for all the play action we've seen so far, eventually it kind of becomes a frivolous exercise. Off a little pump fake, now firing near side, incomplete. Great job on the coverage. There he is. He's been all over the place this season. Ken Moore, a junior out of Miami, on the pass intended for Floyd, but Moore, the nickelback, was right there stride for stride.
This was phenomenal. This is one-on-one coverage. It was a wheel route off the play action, and Moore, he's on an island by himself, and he was sprinting full speed, turns around and knocks that ball down.
6 PBU this season. Second on their team for Moore. Brings up second down and 10. Designed run, Criswell. And he'll go out of bounds. A couple of yards shy of the first down marker, so another third down upcoming.
A good design there from ETSU. Cam Aiken, the offensive coordinator, with Jackson Crosby going in motion to the opposite side. Criswell running it.
3rd and 3, ball's loose, and it's picked up, and returning it is Cameron Dabney for the touchdown. Another fumble by ETSU, and it turns into an instant 6 for the Catamounts.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense for a touchdown.
Dabney with a huge play. The defense again standing strong here. Dabney takes it all the way as this ball's put on the ground. Another mistake from the Bucks. This was a fake to Criswell. He looked like he jumped over the top, but that went to Houston underneath. The ball gets on the ground, and Dabney's off to the races.
Cameron Dabney has been active in pass coverage this season, as you'd expect a corner to be, and that time a scoop and score for the TD and Trout. gives the home team a 21-10 lead. That's 21 straight points scored by the Catamounts. 2 fumbles by ETSU have been a big part of that.
It happened so quick. This defense, 2 turnovers, the offense explosive, and it's 10-0. Now it's 21-10. But that was a heck of a play. That ball going on the ground, and that was a fake with Criswell jumping up, looking like he didn't have it. The ball going underneath with the snap going to Houston, and then it just hits the turf.
Well, we've seen got a true freshman quarterback who scored his first touchdown in place of Dickens on a snap close to the goal line. You've had the fumble that was forced that led to a scoring drive, and then Cameron Dabney, what a great highlight in his career. 5th year out of Bartow, Florida. Kick is away. Brantley again with another touchback. So here in Cullowhee, North Carolina, we have seen the script change big time on Ingles SoCon football. Presented by Ingles, low prices, love the savings. Thanks to our wonderful sponsor, Ingles Markets. Of course, headquarters just up the road from here in Cullowhee over in the Asheville area. Big time at the Ingles with all the holidays coming upon us and all the great work they do out in the community throughout the year, helping folks, and especially during the holiday season. So back to work on offense, Criswell, but this time now looking up at an 11-point deficit. Albritton in as the running back. Play action. Over the middle. Man wide open. Meggett. And in stride out across midfield. Big connection on first down, trying to get some of their mojo back on offense.
They continue to go with the play action over the middle. That's been the sweet spot. This was a crossing route from Megas, wide open.
And we do have a Catamounts player down in what would be the secondary. So we saw Evan Carney, the big offensive lineman, have to be carted off for Western Carolina earlier, and we've got another player down now on the Catamounts defense. We'll take a timeout here in Cullowhee in a 21-10 game in the second quarter.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with an available flat interior work surface. Drop down the available tailgate work surface to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus no payments for 90 days on select 2025 F-150 trucks.
Welcome to the Mass General Store. How can we help you?
We are proud to be the exclusive healthcare partner for Western Carolina Athletics,
helping Catamounts live their healthiest lives.
It's a big Ingles weekend on our network of stations. Of course, this game today in Cullowhee. Then we've got a basketball doubleheader. 1 p.m. Sunday, the Western Carolina and Stetson men in an ASUN SoCon battle. And then that's followed by the number 6 Oklahoma Sooners on the Western Carolina women at 3:30. Next Saturday, we invite you to join us for Ingles SoCon football. The Catamounts of Western. Could that be a game that a win gets them into the postseason? Well, we're right back with you, right where you're watching at noon next Saturday on Ingles SoCon football with Ingles SoCon basketball. The doubleheader coming up from here in Cullowhee Sunday beginning at 1 p.m. Play action. Criswell throwing incomplete. Once again tried to get it to the big tight end Keller, and good coverage on the play. Samari Dukes, he's a safety, but he's second on their team in tackles. That's his second big moment so far in this opening half.
And ETSU has to be careful. Again, over the middle on a skinny post, and the defensive back starting to read where they're trying to go with the ball, and he just jumped and undercut it right at the last minute.
Second time he's broken up a pass in this game. He's got 6 on the season. Second down and 10. Bucks again knocking on the door of Catamounts territory and trying to get the offense going again. They jumped out to a 10-0 lead in the opening quarter. All-Britain, and he's wrapped up. That'll be third down. Hayward McQueen, junior out of Fort Lauderdale, one of those guys who seems like he's been in this program forever. And he was in on the stop with some others.
You just get the feeling this is a big third down coming up for the Bucks here. They've got to continue this drive. 11-point deficit. You're right at midfield. You need somebody to step up here.
ETSU just 1 out of 5 on third down attempts. Third down and 7. Reaching up, making the catch. Harrison, extra effort, and then he pushes across the 41, has the first down. Nice job by the freshman out of Charlotte, Chambers.
He stepped up. This is a heck of a play from Harrison. A difficult catch on that quick screen to the outside where he kind of had to reach up for it, and then he had to fight through the Catamounts trying to bring him down. He just kept moving the pile forward.
Harrison had his 4th touchdown catch of the season earlier in the game. That was a big play to move the chains. Buccaneers trying to rebuild some momentum. Another fake handoff, another fire over the middle, and Meggett with a one-handed grab for the touchdown. Hakeem Meggett, just outside of Charleston, the Gardner-Webb transfer, getting in the end zone for a 4th time this season.
This was an excellent catch from Meggett, but a perfect throw from Criswell in the pocket, composed off the play action where he's had so much success, and he hit Meggett in stride, and that's the response the Bucks needed on this drive.
Another scoring strike for Criswell, his second TD toss of the game, give him 7 on the year. And ETSU able to answer the scoop and score by Dabney and tighten this thing up a little bit with about 5.5 to go here before halftime.
Criswell, he's a veteran player from UNC in Arkansas. He knows how to stay in that pocket strong, accurate throw. And this is a deep passing play. And he's got the arm strength as Meggett celebrates. His team needed that one.
38 yards on the touchdown connection. So a 21-17 ball game now. Catamounts lead, reduced to 4 points. And ETSU, after the kickoff and the touchback, marching 75 yards in 5 plays. Hakeem Meggett, another touchdown catch on the year. Entertaining first half so far. We thought it would be. Although early on, you just kind of felt some doldrums as Western Carolina fell in 10-0, and you were thinking, could that loss of last week, as we alluded to earlier, could that be a game that beats them twice? Yep. Now they've shown some energy, but give the Bucks credit for answering and tightening things up. Dutton, dangerous on the returns, able to break one, but not another. And the ball came out. ETSU says they have it. Turnovers have been a huge factor so far in this opening half. Let's see. Boy, the bottom of that pile can be a real dangerous place.
They're politicking for it, and they get it.
Indeed, wanted to see the one who counted make the indication, and Bruce Austin, the referee.
First down, ETSU.
So the turnover by the Catamounts. Dutton on that second hard hit he took on that return, giving it up. Let's take another look.
The previous play of a fumble by the receiving team, recovered by the Kinkadee, is under video review.
I believe William Wells is the one who came away with it. But let's take a look as the officials will review it also.
You're right, though. That pile is not a place that you want to be. And it took a while to uncover who had possession as they're going to look at the review, but a heck of a job here initially with this call from the Bucks.
Bruce Austin leading our Southern Conference crew today. We have the same replay crew that we had last week in Chattanooga.
Yeah. Friendly faces.
Yeah. And Kerwin Bell, this will obviously be one of those key moments in this game. Will it be his quarterback Teron Dickens running out there, or will the Catamounts defense have to head on back out there? Nice turnout. Bucks fans making the reasonably short drive down from Johnson City, and the home stands just about filled up. Let's take another look and see what happened on the end of this return by Dominic Dutton.
Nice job with the coverage unit as Dutton's trying to get extra yards.
And it was Wells who
that ball's out.
After
hit
video
him
review,
first.
the receiver number 4 gave a fair catch signal at the 1 yard line. Therefore, the ball would be placed at the 25-yard line, first Western Carolina.
Now, I think Will Healy may argue that the play should have been blown dead initially when the fair catch, and perhaps it was, and whistles just weren't heard. But yeah, that's the rule they put in place a few years back that allows for that. I'm trying to see if the ETSU head coach has something to say about it. Now we pick him up in our picture. And his complaint is, then why did you let the play go on? As if because there was no, usually you'll see guys start to slow up. Once the hand goes above, now it would have to have been earlier.
Yeah,
he
it
comes
was
up,
a quick gesture.
Yeah, and this year they have really paid attention to if you stick your hands out in any way. We'll have to go back earlier and see even before the ball, as the ball is still on its way down. So right there, that's the interpretation this year, and it's born out of a controversial play in last year's bowl game between Illinois and South Carolina, among others. Once you put your arms in any way out away from your body, the officials are going to say you've called a fair catch, because originally the ruling said you had to extend your arms to indicate that you were not, when you were in the end zone or when you were near the end zone, you were just going to let the ball bounce over your head and go out. And teams started to kind of use that as a ploy. And this year the folks who oversee the officiating said any type of movement of your hands away from your body, we're going to interpret that as you saying you're going to let the ball go or it's a fair catch. So there you go. Little shovel in front of him for Dickens, but not a whole lot happening on the jet sweep.
I know the Bucks aren't happy still over on their sideline, but that allows the offense to come out on the field for Western Carolina. This home crowd very pleased with that call.
Yeah, that was a big break. That was Jalen Terzado, who was injured earlier in the year, and now Thomas. And it'll bring up a third down and short. That was about as quick on the call as they could be in terms of the fair catch indication. It did not look like that was Dutton's intention, and based on how he reacted upon catching the ball, it didn't appear. Branson Adams gets the first down. It didn't look like Dutton had it in mind that he had indicated he wanted to make a fair catch. And here's a guy who had a 97-yard run back early in the season, so he has the utmost confidence that on every chance he has to return it, he can take it all the way. Coming up on 4 to play here in the second quarter. Now penalty markers before the snap, and they're going to back up the Catamounts.
Offense number 77, 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
The Bucks and Will Healy still hot over on the sideline. They're still discussing that call. Kerwin Bell's offense here after that penalty, they're going to move back, but benefiting from that call, you know, right now you've got the lead, you've got your star quarterback out in the field. You want to try to go back and establish this ground game.
That is a huge call, or a huge review. Passes completed, and trying to work his way out of traffic, hit hard Michael Rosson. Then they get a good chunk of yards back. It'll bring up 3rd down and a very manageable 3. Catamounts 4 out of 8 on their 3rd down tries. Dickens completing. Terzado, open field. 30, 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown. Jalen Terzado, happy to be back after missing a lot of action earlier this season on the injured list. And there he is with his first touchdown in 2025.
A great play design here from Kerwin Bell and his offensive coordinator, Rylan Wells. There's a crossing route in front of Terzado. He cleared it out and then allowed him just to sit in the middle there, that zone coverage, and then took it all the way. And what a response on 3rd down. You regain possession, your offense moves the ball down, and you pick it up there with a huge play.
34th passing touchdown for the FCS leader Teron Dickens on this season, and Marcus Trout makes it a 28-17 advantage in favor of the Catamounts. Take another look.
And here's Terzado in the slot as Rosin clears it, and then no one is there for the Bucks, just wide open area. The 2 safeties were split out, and Terzado's speed just took over, and you've got to be in position if you're a defender. You can't give up these big plays to this offense. They were out of alignment. The Cats took advantage of it.
Top passing offense in the SoCon, and that means they're in the nation as well as the SoCon. Number 1 at FCS, came in averaging about 350 yards. They put up 551 on Mercer, and those numbers are all great, but what it does tell you is, especially with the talent they've got leading that attack, they can strike at any time as they'll have to readjust the ball on the tee. That touchdown connection of 58 yards. So we saw one of nearly 40 by ETSU on the previous series, and then one of nearly 60, Dickens to Terzado. A couple of guys from the Miami area hooking up and building the lead back out to 11. And now you're going to have someone hold the ball for Catamount Stephen Brantley. They'll allow the wind to blow it off the tee once, but then
not twice.
After the second time,
wind is picking up here as this game continues.
Yeah, it was really not noticeable at all in the early stages. And Brantley will kick out of the hold. Houston, he put his arms out, meaning he'll just let the ball go and he'll accept the touchback. Teron Dickens, so far in the ball game, 13 out of 19, 169 yards, that 58-yard touchdown toss, continuing to build his numbers. ETSU trying to find an answer defensively, but with 3:22 to go here before the half and a couple of timeouts, see if they can chip away at this deficit. Been a tight series all time. Catamounts lead at 27-26. There's been one tie. Obviously ETSU went better than a decade without playing football, but brought the sport back as they came back into the Southern Conference last decade and trying to throw a wrench into the Catamounts' plans of trying to get back into the postseason. Criswell a lot of time, but nowhere to throw it. Here comes pressure. Now he's got room. Open field, tripped up. Tumbles ahead, close to the line to get. Open field stop by Bo Simpson-Neely, the free safety.
If Simpson-Neely wasn't there, Criswell would have had about 20 yards before the next defender was there, and the pass rush just didn't get home. Finally, they broke loose, but the secondary was really good in coverage.
He's a big man, Criswell, but he does have that ability to kind of sneak away from you and maybe a little bit more mobile than you would think upon first sight. 2nd down and 1. Houston bottled up, but I believe he has enough, and he does for the first down.
And Houston has 11 carries, and I believe he's got to be well over 20. So he's getting the ball, but he just hasn't had those big gains that we've been accustomed to throughout the season. The defense has bottled him up.
Catamounts limited Mercer to 125 yards on the ground, but they're 8th in the league. And again, Mercer had a big day passing behind their freshman quarterback Atkinson. Albritton, he's been effective running. That's a nice carry on a first down try, and he gets just inside Western Carolina territory. A couple of moments I'll think about in this game. Remember in the first quarter when ETSU was driving, Criswell slid a little bit too early, didn't get a first down on a 4th down try, plus the fumbles as well. 2-minute timeout, late first half. Catamounts up on the Bucks. The Pride of the Mountains band getting ready to entertain at the break. And coming up at halftime, we have our Harris Regional and Swain Community Hospitals halftime report. We will recap a very entertaining first half in this Blue Ridge border battle. Visit with a guest from Ingalls Markets, our fine sponsors on Ingalls SoCon football. As we close in on halftime, ETSU trying to again answer. Albritton spun down near the 45-yard line.
You just get the sense the Bucks really need points on the board. They need some momentum going into this halftime break.
Samari Dukes on that last stop. He's having a good game. Senior on this senior day here in Cullowhee. Albritton. That time wrapped up by Bo Simpson-Neely at the end. The stage of the half, the game clock stops. He picked up the first down, so they'll move the chains before they even have him in place. The snap, and Albritton again. Boy, what a hard runner, and he tumbles forward for about another yard at the end of the play.
Between Albritton, Criswell, and Houston, those three have carried the load here in the first half, and he's starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm. They're playing up-tempo on the drive.
He's closing in on a 60-yard day. Firing toward the end zone. Going up for it was Harrison. Couldn't pull it down. Coverage by Hassan Sykes, the cornerback.
And Sykes here in coverage going against Harrison, who's 6'1". He's a tall, fast wide receiver. There he is, looking up at the last moment, knocking the ball down.
Harrison with his 4th touchdown catch in his young ETSU career earlier in this ball game. 3rd down and 3, just 2 out of 6 so far on 3rd down tries for the ETSU offense. Criswell over the middle, completes for the 1st down. That's Charlie Browder, the tight end. So they move the chain some more. Well orchestrated drive. Will Healy, relatively young man, but very good get for this program. And Albritton with another 1st down. Their head coach, who tried to rebuild things at Charlotte, was at Austin Peay for only a year, had success there, moved on to Charlotte, but like that he came into a place that everybody really cares, great fan base, great administration, and he says you can come in here and you can win. And Randy Sanders, their SoCon championship winning head coach, was a sounding board for him as Albritton gets inside the 10. Now a timeout will be called with 39 seconds to go, but as you see the guy in the visor on the right side of your screen, Will Healy said he is really good friends with his predecessor, Trey Lamb.
Second
but
charge
he
time out of the half. This is a 30-second timeout. Please put 41 seconds back on the clock, please. 4-1 on the clock.
Talked more with Randy Sanders in the process leading up to him taking the job after Trey Lamb left after just 1 season to head out to Tulsa. But I think he's a really good fit for the program, just as Kerwin Bell has been a great fit for this Western Carolina program. The veteran head coach going for a 31st win here with the Catamounts and trying to pick up career win number 124 in his 17th season as a head coach. Year number 5 in Cullowhee. The goal this year, they thought they could make a run to the program's first ever Southern Conference championship since they came into the league roughly 50 years ago. Well, they could still share it if Chattanooga's able to upset Mercer later today. They would share the title, but obviously Mercer has locked up the number 1 seed for the playoffs and the automatic bid. For the playoffs, and that comes with what they've been able to do in SoCon play, regardless of whether they are able to go through the league unscathed or finish in a 1st place tie with Western. But only time they went to the playoffs, 1983, they actually made it all the way to the title game, played Southern Illinois down in Charleston. So just getting back to postseason play would be quite an accomplishment in year number 5 under Kerwin Bell.
It's been a great season, and they want to finish it off the right way with 2 wins and that playoff berth. Got to take care of business here today.
So you heard Bruce Austin, the official, our referees, say to put a couple of seconds on the clock. 41 seconds remain before the half. The Bucks would at least like to make this a 1-possession game going into the break. 2nd and goal. Albritton, it's been his series. And he stopped. It'll be 3rd down. He's their leading rusher. Now up over 75 yards. They can get a 1st down inside the 3, but instead going for 6. And the connection. And Keller's in with his 2nd touchdown of the season. And the Bucks draw closer.
And both teams using their tight ends, and love this play call with the play action. 3rd and short. It looked like it was going to be a running play, and you sneak your tight end, Keller. He's had a good day today. He gets into the end zone, and they had to have a response here going into the break.
Too early to go for 2 with 23 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So we'll see Ewan Johnson. And he makes it a 4-point game. Now the connection and yet another TD toss in the game for Criswell, his 3rd so far.
Cole Keller was lined up as a wing and just sneaks out of the backfield into the flat, and that's a tough matchup when you got the big tight end going one-on-one in a tackling situation with the defensive back. He just bowled him over to get in the end zone.
8 touchdown tosses now for Jacoby Criswell. He was coming to Johnson City, and then they got a call from Cade McNamara. You see the scoring drive, 12 plays, 75 yards. Keller, a 2nd touchdown catch in the season. So as Will Healy will tell you, they had Criswell in place, but then they got a call from McNamara's representation, and Healy was honest with Criswell. He goes, I've got a chance to land a guy who, like you, has been in the Power 4, and McNamara had moved offenses quite well in Michigan and Iowa, and he goes, if he wants to come here, we're going to take him, just so you know. And Criswell was on board with it, and those guys, feeling out process was what you would expect it would be, but they really connected during the summer, and the relationship was great. In the first couple of games, they rotated them on series. They might have continued that, but eventually one of them might have been able to take the job. Dutton trying to return again, being careful to hang on to the ball as he's taken down at the 10-yard line. But I thought that was an interesting story that you had a chance to get two high-level quarterbacks come in. You're Will Healy, you're trying to hit the ground running in your first year at ETSU. You're able to get both guys in this day and age to agree with it and to go along with it. And then unfortunately for the Bucs, Cade McNamara, who had kind of rested the starting job, he got hurt. But Criswell, a very capable backup.
Well, the thing about that story that I liked was bringing in competition to better that position, and also the honesty, telling both quarterbacks, hey, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm doing, you're going to have a chance. And when they both committed, hey, you've got a shot at it, but you're going to have to compete. Nothing is promised. And those guys have really developed their relationship as this season's gone on.
Catamounts will get the ball to start the second half. So Kerwin Bell likes to have his quarterback take a knee, and Teron Dickens and the Cats will head to the locker room in a tight game. Been a back and forth battle, if you will. An early 10-0 lead for ETSU. 21 straight points by the Catamounts. And here at the break, a 28-24 lead for Western Carolina on ETSU in the Blue Ridge border battle. These are desperate times for the Catamounts. They need to win to keep their hopes alive to potentially get an at-large bid. And Kerwin Bell and company have 30 more minutes to do that. And here's Dave Friedman with the head coach. Dave?
You trailed 10-0 and rallied. What was the difference between the beginning and the rest of that quarter?
Well, we finally got going offensively. You know, they came out with 3 deep safeties, a little bit different what they've shown in the last few weeks. So had to make some adjustments there. Finally got Tiger going. And, you know, we were able to score some points to get ahead.
And the takeaways were huge.
Yeah, big turnovers. Our defense is doing a good job of stopping them, you know, on a few times. I hated that one right there. I wanted to get a 2-for-1 here right before half and right after half. But it's going to be a great game. This is a good football team we're playing, and we just come out and play a really good second half.
What will you tell the players in the locker room?
We told them 60 minutes. This will be a 60-minute game. Senior day, playoffs, implications. I mean, there's a lot of things at stake. You got to throw everything out on the line these next 30 minutes, and so we'll take that out here and we'll come back out and try to play our best half of the season.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Kerwin Bell's Catamounts forcing 2 big fumbles in the opening half. 19 turnovers on the year. Stay tuned. Coming up, it's our Harris Regional and Swain Community Hospitals halftime report. Let's get Taylor in here. All right, so, yeah, she's coming in first. Yep. Halftime on a beautiful November Saturday, a SoCon Saturday here in Cullowhee, North Carolina, and the Western Carolina Catamounts, a 28-24 advantage on ETSU in the Blue Ridge border battle. We welcome you back into the booth. Taylor Newhouse from Ingalls Markets kind to join us on Ingalls SoCon football. Hey, the holidays are here. Things are bustling at Ingalls Markets, and leading up to Thanksgiving especially, some great opportunities if maybe you don't want to necessarily do all the cooking yourself.
Absolutely. You can always go into any Ingalls store, go straight to that deli, pick out your favorite items, and you don't have to do any of the prep work. Just throw it in a nice bowl maybe, and then serve it up to your guests, and everyone will be filled and impressed, and you'll just have a really kind of stress-free Thanksgiving.
Yes. Well, again, depending on which relatives you invite, but that's a conversation for a different time. So, the thing that I alluded to during the first half, and it's so impressive to see the great outreach during the holidays that Ingalls Markets does to help the less fortunate, to help those who need a helping hand at this time of the year.
It's one of our favorite times of the year because we get to help so much, especially in these smaller communities. We're partnered with many charities that are helping out with food initiatives, but also getting toys to kids and making sure people are staying warm this holiday season.
Yeah, and that's such an important thing and such an important consideration. And I know that throughout the year, at each Ingalls store, they have a great presence in the community. And again, at this time of the year, a great opportunity to go get all your needs each week from a grocery standpoint. And keep in mind at the holidays, the convenience of Ingalls. You have to remember how convenient it can be to get done whatever you want to get done.
Absolutely. I mean, Ingalls is everywhere. We're beacons in Western North Carolina especially, and all over our communities. They are where you can go to meet people, see people, buy your groceries, help people. We try to be a beacon and a light everywhere we go. And so just come into our store. You can help out your local community by buying some food while you're there and pick up things for your family to enjoy too.
All right, keep that in mind as we approach the holidays. Taylor Newhouse from Ingalls Markets, so kind to join us here at halftime as the Pride of the Mountains entertains the folks here at halftime. We've got a tight game. Taylor's anxious to see the second half, as are we. And we continue here at halftime in a moment in Cullowhee. 28-24, Catamounts up on ETSU on Ingalls SoCon football. The Pride of the Mountains Marching Band wrapping up their halftime show in a 28-24 game. Western Carolina up on ETSU, and you can get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. We come back and recap our first half of action. Tight games so far between these rivals on either side of the mountains here in this part of the nation. And we come back with more in a moment here in Cullowhee on Ingles SoCon Football. Western Carolina trying to win a rivalry game and keep its postseason hopes viable. 28-24 as ETSU is in trying to upset the party. Welcome back into Cullowhee with Jay Sonhalter, Pete Hannity. First half, we can look at a bunch of different numbers, but the two fumbles by ETSU, which either indirectly or directly led to scores by Western, I think the headline.
That's what got them back into the ballgame. Those two turnovers, it was 10-0. The Bucks were ahead. Western Carolina's offense was kind of slow, and then Teron Dickens got going, and they really picked up the pace.
Take a look at the numbers over our first 30 minutes of play. As Kerwin Bell told Dave Friedman, it's going to be a 60-minute game, so these probably will be a moot point by the time we get to the end.
Yeah, everything's going to change, but those offenses really got things going. They got into a groove, and ETSU, though, rushing the football, they were able to move the pile. It was just that first quarter, they couldn't finish drives, and that was the issue with what those turnovers allowed the Catamounts to spring forward and with a 4-point lead.
Catamounts lead this series 27-26 with one tie. 30 minutes to go in this edition. We come back with our second half of action in a moment on Ingles SoCon Football. Beautiful day at Whitmire Stadium in Cullowhee. 4-point lead for the Catamounts for our second half gets going. Let's go back down to the sidelines to Dave Friedman. Dave?
Yeah, we're towards the end of the college football regular season, Pete, and around the SoCon, it is a very big day. Mercer has already clinched the automatic qualifier in the SoCon by virtue of their tight win here last week, but they need to keep winning to secure a home game in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the two teams from Tennessee, Chattanooga and ETSU, looking to play spoiler. Could they get in the playoffs? An outside chance. Could they derail the opportunity of Western Carolina here today? No question about it. And it really would hurt Mercer if Chattanooga beat them today. Plus, there's a job opening in Homewood, Alabama. Chris Hatcher dismissed at Samford. They are looking for new leadership. As for talking to Coach Healy at halftime, he said the 2 turnovers were absolutely killers, but honestly, we haven't gotten a lot of breaks in the first half, and we're right in the game. We can't give up explosives in the second half, but I like where we're at.
And James Tyre, a no-doubter on calling for the fair catch there. Dave, thanks so much. You know, Chris Hatcher had a better-than-decade-long run and did some good things with Samford, led them to the 2022 championship in the Southern Conference. Wishing him the very best. Great guy for us to deal with, but time for a change, and it'll be interesting to see what direction they go with that program now at Samford. Martin Newton, the athletic director, will make that decision in the coming weeks.
I think there's a couple different routes you can go with. You can go with a coordinator from a Power 4 conference, or maybe a lower level head coach that's had success, and maybe pair that coach with the quarterback from that program. A whole different landscape with the transfer portal and what you want and what you're looking for. I think the biggest thing is you want a recruiter and somebody that's going to build that fan base back down there at Samford.
Dickens, 1st and 10, first snap of the half. Eludes a defender, connecting with Blackman. He's been a prime target today. And the tight end played his high school football in the upstate of South Carolina at Burns with another grab. 4th catch to lead the Catamount. 2nd down short. And the handoff for the 1st down. So, Jay, you gave us your keys to the game to start out as Adams gets the 1st down. Let's revisit those.
Bucks really haven't gotten Houston loose. Only 34 yards and taming Tiger. They did in the first quarter. He exploded in that second quarter. And for the Catamounts, big play day. They've had some big throws over the top, and the front 7 has been physical. They've done a nice job thus far.
Boy, the cornerback was sensing an opportunity right there. William Wells, I say corner, he's actually listed as a safety, but he was lined up over on that side. Incomplete, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. And when you say big play day for Western, you're thinking the offense, and there have been those, but we couldn't have anticipated a scoop and score by Cameron Dabney for a touchdown.
Both sides have had big plays.
The cornerback with one of the scores in that 28-point first half. Deflected, nearly intercepted. Wow, Trevor Moffitt, the linebacker, went up, turned it into a pop-up, and it'll bring down up 3rd down. Game of inches on those last 2 plays. ETSU might have had a turnover and a pick 6, or at least an interception in the ball back.
If it wasn't for that late push, he would have had that interception. That was an amazing play, timing it, knocking it down, and almost hauling it in.
See number 10, the linebacker, on the field for ETSU for the first time today in this half, as Dickens goes and gets the 1st down. Looked like he was going to fall near the 50. It's all the way inside the 45. But Ty Anderson, the player we talk about, their leading tackler, had to sit out the first half due to the targeting last week. They ran to his side, and a sprint for a 1st down by Teron Dickens.
Dickens' ability to run the ball out of the pocket is what drives a defense crazy. You think you've got him bottled up, and he can break loose and do damage.
Handoff, Adams. Pat Boyd, we've not seen him today. He was their leading rusher. We were given no indication that he was not available. Good 1st down carry. Brings up 2nd down and 5. It's been Adams and Markel Townsend out of the backfield, and some really good yards, as per usual, by Teron Dickens when he decides to tuck it and run. And that time gets a couple. 3rd down and short.
Credit the secondary in coverage there. There was nowhere for Dickens to go. The offensive line did hold up, and Dickens wasn't able to break through. Now 3rd and short here coming up. You figure this is probably 4 downs for the Catamounts to pick this up.
Third down and 2. Catamounts have been good on 3rd down. 6 out of 10. Dickens off the scramble, but he throws behind the intended target, Rawson.
Dickens,
what do you do on 4th down now?
Yeah, I think you put your trust in your star quarterback, and Dickens just has the ability to kind of get out of the pocket and make something happen. Not able to complete it there with Rawson, but they're going to keep the offense out on the field. Tyre not in the ball game. That's their go-to wide receiver. He's not in for this set.
Catamounts successful on 2 fourth-down tries today, on the season 3rd in the SoCon. Dickens, pressure, nearly taken down. He'll throw it in the flat, and a 4th down stop for ETSU. There is a penalty flag down. Looked like he was out of the box, and he also had a receiver. He had Rossin, who, had he been a couple of yards closer to him, might have been able to reach out and at least make the catch. Still would have gone for lost yards.
Pass interference offense. That penalty declined. Result of the play, first down, ETSU.
So Will Healy getting the stop from his defense after the Catamounts had crossed midfield. It's got to make the ETSU coach happy. And his offense now will get a chance to go to work. Solid first half for the Bucks offensively. They came out and took that 10-0 lead. They put up 370 yards in their first 30 minutes of play. On the season, by the way, Criswell, with his effort passing today, 15 out of 24. They now have 217 completed passes. That's the most since football came back to their program in 2015.
And they've looked good, Pete. I mean, there's a lot of bright spots they've taken from that first half. They're hoping to carry over here in the second. And the defense doing enough there to get the stop and give the ball back to Criswell.
Most prolific passing attack they've had at ETSU since the 90s. Criswell gonna go big on the first throw of the second half, and in and out of the hands of Ephraim Floyd. Got behind the defense. He'd be the first one to tell you he should have made that catch.
It was there. This was a touchdown, and Floyd always comes down with it. And this one just falling to the turf. Watch for them to go back to that play. He had about 3 or 4 defenders just trailing him. He would have walked into the end zone. And again, he beats that coverage with speed. They'll go back to that one.
Part of the field where you're not looking directly into the sun, but the sun was over his right shoulder. And that may have had an impact, but it looked like he had corralled that one. Throwing on second down, Browder, the tight end, in stride into Catamounts territory. Finally upended inside the 40-yard line. Dukes and Simpson Neely on the stop. Once again, a productive pass and connection for Criswell. He's over 250 yards in the air. He had thrown for 615 yards in the season, either as a backup or sharing time with Cade McNamara. McNamara lost to injury, so this is Criswell's show. First and 10 inside the 40, throws off his back foot, deflected in and out of the hands of Harrison. Closing fast was Dabney, and Dukes also on the coverage, and he impacted Harrison, really be able to get an angle on that ball.
And the coverage was there, just sandwiching Harrison, and pressure gets to Criswell here. As he's dropping back off the play action, he got hit right as he threw that one. So the offensive line not holding up for their quarterback.
Second down and 10. Bucks led 10-0 after the opening quarter. Catamounts scored on the first play of the second quarter and eventually took a lead they've not relinquished. But Criswell, looking like the old triple option QB. I'm going to bring up third down.
2 tight end sets in the ball game with Keller and Browder. That's who I would target here on this 3rd and medium.
4 for 8 on third downs. Early third quarter, but could this be a key moment in the game? Houston, handoff. He stopped shy. Had to get inside the 27-yard line. Knocked down at the 30.
It's 3rd and 6. They elect to go on the ground, and they figure they're going to go for it here. That's why they kept it on the ground on 3rd down.
Offense will stay out there. They're inside of the range of Johnson, their place kicker. Of course, down by 4 points here, but still early on in the second half. 0 for 1 on 4th downs in the game. Off the fake handoff. Design QB run. First down and more, Criswell. And he gets inside the 10. Helmet comes off, and it looks like he also might have taken a shot to the head based on his reaction, so he'll have to exit for a play. Well, he was immediately grabbed his head with both hands after his helmet came flying off. And we will see if he's able to return after having to sit out the required 1 snap as he is being helped off the field. And that does not look like a guy who may be able to bounce back in a hurry. So they have more than one McNamara on their depth chart at quarterback, Jake McNamara. It'll be 1st and goal at the 10. And an enviable spot for him to have to step into here. And it's going to be a wildcat look, I do believe. And they'll go with that. And the direct snap back to Khalil Eichelberger. And so now you've had your 1 snap. And Jackson Bird is also an option at quarterback. And now he's the one they'll turn to. So, big turn of events right here. Bird, little used this season. 2nd down and goal, trying to get his team back in front. Albritton tripped up in the backfield. And 3rd down and goal upcoming.
And Bird, a true freshman out of the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And he will have a bright future, and he's been able to learn under McNamara and Criswell, but this is a big spot for him coming in with Criswell still over on the sideline.
Criswell exiting after having his helmet knocked off, so he had to leave anyway, but he did not look like he felt well. Some confusion, as you would understand, when a quarterback's inserted out of the blue. Didn't even have a time to really warm up on the sidelines. Play clock coming up on 5. 3rd and goal. Bird throws. Floyd bobbles and catches for the touchdown. Ephraim Floyd quickly makes amends on this drive, and he's got the score. That's his 2nd touchdown catch of the season, and the Bucks go back in front.
Jackson Bird from Cleveland High School coming out here, throwing this one. Perfect throw over the top of the defender as Floyd falls towards that corner, hauls it in, and a huge response from the Bucks offense with the touchdown.
So Jackson Bird able to come off the bench. Johnson's extra point try is good. And now it's a 31-28 game in favor of ETSU. They move back in front in the Blue Ridge Border Battle on Ingalls SoCon football.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with an available flat interior work surface. Drop down the available tailgate work surface to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus no payments for 90 days on select 2025 F-150 trucks.
Mountain Credit Union is your guide through every season. Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. This time of year can bring more than just chilly mornings. It can bring extra expenses too. At Mountain Credit Union, we're your neighbors and we've got your back. From holiday budgets to heating costs, our affordable rate loans and savings tools are here to keep you prepared so you can focus on what matters most. Because at Mountain Credit Union, commitment to our community isn't seasonal. It's who we are. So stop by one of our local branches today or visit mountaincu.org to learn more. Insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Lender.
We are proud to be the exclusive healthcare partner for Western Carolina Athletics.
Helping Catamounts live their healthiest lives.
First career touchdown toss for the freshman quarterback, Jackson Bird. Ephraim Floyd able to find the handle on that one. And he gets his second touchdown catch of the year. It puts the Bucks back in front, 31-28. So a Tennessee school trying to spoil the party for a North Carolina school. Down to Dave Friedman because there's another member from Tennessee about to come to the SoCon.
Yeah, a couple months ago it was announced that Tennessee Tech will join the league starting next year. Tennessee Tech having an incredible season. They're 10-0, and they're at Kentucky today. They finished the season with UT Martin. They're ranked number 5 in the country, but the fit is really good for the SoCon. The geography, the academics, the athletics. But when we talked to the two coaches in this game, they both said Tennessee Tech's going to make the league better because they are all in on winning in football, and everyone else is going to need to follow along.
And on that graphic we saw, so you immediately have the association of Chattanooga, which is due south of Cookeville, where Tennessee Tech's located, and ETSU. They've got another close by school. Tennessee Tech's not all that long of a distance from here in Cullowhee, so Western Carolina gets a reasonably close by member, and it helps now having 2 teams in the Central Time Zone as Tennessee Tech joins Samford in that regard. Great move by the Southern Conference, adding a program that's going to bring a lot there, doing some great facilities enhancements with football at the school in Cookeville, Tennessee. Cookeville's not that far from Nashville either. Tyre, relatively quiet today, their top receiver, but the first down toss from Dickens. Well, they had themselves a shootout here in Cullowhee last week against Mercer, and this has been a back-and-forth battle so far.
Yeah, both offenses have really had big plays, and which defense can get the big stop? I think, this game's going to go the fourth quarter. One of the defenses is going to have to stand up because the offenses have shown their strength.
Just a second grab of the day. Boyd, leading rusher into the game, tried to stretch it out to move the. It'll bring up third down, and indeed they make the late call, and it will be a first down. They were setting up on the sideline, the chain crew was, if they were getting ready for a third down. First and 10 from the 35. Faking the handoff, Dickens. Penalty marker thrown in the offensive backfield. Pass completed momentarily, then out of the hands of Tyre, but let's see what that marker is all about, and it's going to go against the Catamounts.
Personal foul, face mask, 58 of the offense. 15 yards from the previous spot, remains first down.
Brett Gray, the left tackle who replaced Evan Carney, the starter. Carney injured and had to be carted off in the first half, and Gray's penalty will back things up a good ways all the way to the 20 for the Catamounts.
He was battling with Nick Hunter, number 22, the outside linebacker, defensive edge player, and he just got pulled to the ground.
First and 25. That's Thomas who moves into the slot. And now Knight goes in motion. Low snap. Fakes a handoff to Knight. Dickens carries ahead. Maybe got a yard. Good job surging in defensively. Nick Hunter to disrupt things.
Hunter, 6'5", 220 pounds. Not the biggest guy, but he is quick, has length, and he can cause disruption with that leverage he can create.
Second down, 24. Dickens, quick throw in the flat, and he completes it to Thomas, but it'll be third down and long as they'll give him the 25-yard line.
I think for the Bucks defense, the mindset has to be keep everything in front. You can't have the big play over the top or the missed tackles. You just got to keep it in front and try to swarm to the ball.
There's a penalty marker down on the far side of the field, and here's Bruce Austin once again.
Offsides, defense number 12. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains second down.
So it ended up being a free play, but not sure that there was much of a difference in the yardage completion to Thomas or the penalty itself. They will get the down to play again. Second down, 19. Catamounts trying to answer that score by ETSU. And completing. Leaping grab by Thomas.
There's only 3 rushers. The defense wouldn't let everything go in front, and now it sets up a 3rd and long for Dickens.
Have you noticed that is the defensive ploy for ETSU in the second half, and that's why Dickens really hasn't gotten things going yet?
That's been the difference here to start out the second half compared to the first.
Off the fingertips of Painter Richards Baker. 4th down. Stephen Brantley is the punter. Let's see if they send him out there. They will. Bit of a hesitation, but you're looking at 4th down and 9. It's a 3-point game. You got a chance to flip field position. Brantley, one of the better punters, though they have gotten a fingertip on a couple of his.
The offensive players were trying to stay out there, but this is the right call. You have to punt the ball.
Xavier Guyardet's back deep for ETSU. And Brantley gets one away clean this time. Guyardet's fair catch made near the 25-yard line. Bucks will get it back. They're back in front. 31-28. Blue Ridge border battle, so it's a rivalry. It's a critical game for Western Carolina as well as playoff implications are concerned. Here in Cullowhee on Ingles SoCon Football, presented by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. Beautiful day in the mountains of western North Carolina, and an Ingles weekend, if you will, here in Cullowhee, because Sunday, join us at 1 p.m. right where you're watching Stetson in Western Carolina. Ingles SoCon basketball on the men's side. On the women's side, right after that, it's Western Carolina against number 6 Oklahoma. The Sooners are in town. That's a 3:30 tip. Then next Saturday, we're in Lexington, Virginia. Noon kickoff for Western Carolina and VMI on Ingles SoCon Football. Thanks to our great sponsor, Ingles Markets. Visited with our friend Taylor Newhouse from Ingles at the half. And now this is the time of the year to head to your local Ingles Markets, get you set for your holiday meals. Over the middle, first down, way over the top of the head of the intended target, Hakeem Meggett on the pass from Criswell, and just the fact that Criswell's back out on the field is a big story in itself for ETSU. He really looked like he was shaken up on that hard hit.
Yeah, and didn't know if he'd be able to return, and hit his head. He got clearance though from the sideline, and he came out here shooting for it all. That was a touchdown type of throw going for the deep passing play.
Criswell so far passing 16 out of 29 for 263 yards. Houston, Catamounts have done a pretty good job containing a player who was closing in on 900 yards. SoCon leader in rushing. For Houston, that was his 13th carry, but he's yet to reach 50 yards. A conversion on third down once again. Cole Keller. They use their 3 tight ends quite a bit. He's the top receiver in that group, and they move the chains again.
Tight ends now have 7 catches for the Bucks, and that's where you win on third down. You leverage your side to get in front of the defender. You're a big target, 6'5". Your size is a mismatch.
False start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Seth Williams, the left guard. Bucks are now 6 out of 11 on third downs. Makes it 1st and 15. Back at the 34-yard line. Criswell, Arkansas, and North Carolina prior to arriving at ETSU. They're near 450 yards of total offense. Houston lowers his shoulder. It'll be 2nd and long.
Houston averages over 6 yards per carry. A little bit over 3 today, and he was on track for over 20 carries to this point. He's had to split more than you would have expected with Albritton, who's had 12.
Albritton leads the Bucks, 78 yards so far. 2nd down and 13. That's Houston in motion. Criswell looking to run and taken down from behind. Jaleel Anderson catching up to him.
This was a veteran play from Criswell. He's keeping his eyes up. Looked like he was going to throw it. Just kind of looked like he was maybe going to dart it to his wide receiver. Allowed the secondary to stay back.
You saw number 8 Anderson. Pretty good speed for a guy who's listed at 6'4", 320. And the third down stop for the Catamounts defense. Jordan Thompson leading the way. 4th down. I think Will Healy is going to elect to punt the football, and he will. So now the Catamounts bowing up on defense. It was their D that really forced the issue in that second quarter when they were able to get a fumble that Thompson recovered. That set up a scoring drive, and then the scoop and score by Dabney for one of the Western Carolina touchdowns. Nate Brackett with James Tyre waiting deep. Tyre, fair catch made as he runs into it just beyond the 20. Timeout on the field. Third quarter, 31-28. Bucks on top of Western Carolina on Ingles SoCon football.
Hey, grab me 1, 2.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
We are proud to be the exclusive healthcare partner for Western Carolina Athletics.
Helping Catamounts live their healthiest lives.
3-point game as our third quarter continues here at Whitmire Stadium in Cullowhee. The Blue Ridge Border Battle, a trophy to be played for, a lot of pride on the line, and more from Dave on the sidelines. Dave?
Pete, there are no trophy games in the NFL, but in college football, it's one of the great traditions. These teams have been playing since 1932. They've just about split all of their games, including since ETSU revived their program. And in 2018, they decided to take a piece of the Appalachian Trail, a rock, and turn it into this beautiful trophy. They've played a lot of overtime games, and for ETSU, Western Carolina is their most frequent opponent over all the years. No surprise, we've got another really good one in this long rivalry.
See that trophy to Dave's right. So Western used to have a rival who they would still consider it. They just don't play them that much anymore. Appalachian State, which is located in Boone, which is known as the Rock. And now it's another one of their big SoCon rivals, with Rossin taking the carry and being pushed out of bounds. Well, they battle for a rock, the Rock Trophy, and Kerwin Bell was adamant about it because he's been around the rivalry, whereas Will Healy, this is his first game in it, but he said, our guys have been talking about it. With all that's on the line as far as extending our season goes today, we want to bring that rock back to Cullowhee.
Well, back to that trophy, it looks pretty heavy. Maybe we can get a weight estimate down there from Dave, but when you have a trophy and you got a rock on top of it, that's at least 25 to 50 pounds in that range, I'd suspect.
Time for Dickens, completes, and he's got the first down. Markel Townsend out of the backfield. I think I see Dave negotiating with a couple of guys who look like they're furniture movers right now to help him out down
There's some flimsy trophies. That's a big one. That's a real one. I like that one.
That's a good-looking trophy, it really is. Yeah, one of the great things about college football, all the trophy games, and many of them this time of the year. They kind of spread them out because of how scheduling has to go, especially on the FBS level. Townsend stopped after getting a couple of yards. But these next few weekends will be when most of those are played for, whether it's the Rock here in Cullowhee, the old Oaken Bucket up in the Hoosier State. They've already waged the battle for Floyd of Rosedale. I'm not sure if Minnesota and Michigan will play for the Little Brown Jug this year. Wide open Rossin. Dickens finding him under pressure. Rossin breaks away. He's headed to the house. And he's in. Touchdown. Michael Rossin, the freshman out of Sewanee, Florida, his 5th touchdown catch. And back in front goes Western Carolina.
He had 2 touchdowns last week against Mercer. Here stepping up again today. You have to bring him down. If you have a missed tackle, if you give him an area to operate, he's going to take it all the way. A huge response from the offense.
Extra point try would make it a 4-point lead once again for Trout and the Catamounts. Up and good. The answer by Western Carolina. Little slant pass. They scored on that earlier with Terzado. This time it's Rossin.
And where's the defender? I mean, they gave him too much space, and then when you try to tackle him, it's too hard when you've got that open Aaron Rossin as a freshman. Boy, he is going to have a special future coming into the program here. He's been very productive, providing big plays.
Teron Dickens building on his nation-leading total of touchdown tosses. A couple more here today to give him 35 on the year. That was a 61-yard connection. Before that series, Bucks were up over 450 yards of total offense, and Western was hovering in the high 200s. Keep in mind, one of the scores came on the scoop and score by the cornerback Dabney, but now the Catamounts, 55 plays for 374 yards, and by air, 266 more yards for Dickens. He's closing in on a 3,000-yard season. Yet again, they'll continue their run of 5,000-yard passing seasons for a 5th straight year. They came into today just about 130 yards shy, so they blew past that a long time ago. Another touchback on the kickoff by Brantley. So now Criswell and the Bucks. Folks who were here last year, last week, I'm sure you have a lot of folks who were in attendance for that game, that shootout. This one even more of a kind of a back and forth feel to it. But a couple of entertaining ball games for the final 2 regular season contests here in Cullowhee. So Bird, who came on in relief of Criswell, threw the touchdown pass at the time, put ETSU back in front 31-28. Well, the true freshman back behind center. Look at Albritton breaking out of the backfield again. What great extra effort. Finally tripped up from behind as Samari Dukes caught up to him. It was Dukes who let him get away initially. That'll put Albritton, I believe, over 100 yards rushing in the game, or at least close to it.
Coming into this game, he only had 372 yards, best game of the season.
Well, we said they had to wrap up the running game for ETSU, did the Western Carolina defense, but we were talking more about Devontae Houston, leading rusher in the conference coming in. Dukes, by the way, who made that tackle 2 plays ago, now comes off with what looks like at the very least a shoulder stinger. They'll attend to him over on the sidelines. He's vital on the back end of that Catamounts defense. 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard carry. Bird. Looked like a little bit of confusion off the snap. He's still going to throw long for Meggett. He's got it. Touchdown. He went right underneath Dabney, the cornerback. And how about this young Jackson Bird? His first 2 career touchdown tosses, and ETSU moves back in front.
This is an amazing throw from Bird. The miscommunication with the snap, it came early. And the freshman has the wherewithal to not only hold on to the ball, but then roll out, elude the pressure, and then make the accurate throw over the top away from the defenders to Meggett.
Boy, how about the quarterback room at ETSU? The 4th guy to see significant snaps, important snaps this season. And Bird, all he's done is thrown his first 2 career touchdown tosses. So check it out again. I thought we were going to see a penalty marker. I kept looking. There was none, but there was a lot of confusion at the start.
Yeah, nobody was moving except for Bird. And then he's like, all right, I got to get away from the pressure. Look at this throw. Unbelievable. Over the top, 2 defenders, and Meggett just ran right under it, put his arms out, and the ball was there.
Right behind Dabney, and he kind of angled his body low to make that grab as the ball sailed over the cornerback's head. So a 2nd touchdown catch in the game for Hakeem Meggett. He is 5 on the season. One of their Gardner-Webb transfers. And these Catamount fans have seen this movie before. Right after they take the lead, back in front goes the opposition. ETSU now up 38-35. Coming up on a minute to play in the 3rd quarter.
And how about Jackson Bird getting thrust into this ball game with what's on the line in this rivalry, this ball game going back and forth, and he's come through here with a couple big throws. Extremely talented freshman.
So it's now ETSU kicking off. Johnson puts his foot into it. Tyre calls for the fair catch. First career 100-yard rushing game for Albritton, so he has reached 100 yards on the ground. Now the Catamounts offense will look to go back to work. .534 total yards for ETSU. And we noted Dukes, the safety, had gone out with injury. I'm not sure if he would have been over there to help on that play. Dickens extends things, had it nearly picked off, getting a hand on it. Kensley Johnson, and it'll be 2nd down. Dangerous moment right there. Of course, earlier in this half, in this 3rd quarter, the Bucks were close to forcing some turnovers. 2nd down and 10. Dickens throws wide. Jai Boyd was in the flat, and it'll be third down.
And we've seen different rushing looks from the defense, 3, 4, 5, and there the pressure coming late with the zone blitz, getting into the body of Dickens. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to, and that's what forced the ball to sail.
Third downs in the game, 6 out of 12. They came in second in the SoCon at 45% of the season, so they've been effective on this down. Dickens with time, pocket collapses, and he's sacked. Great job surging in there by the defense of ETSU. Looked like he was going to have enough time to get the throw away. Brian Alston leading the surge. And a big sack for the sophomore out of Birmingham. He's got 4.5 on the year. So they get the Catamounts offense off the field quickly. Brantley with Guyardets back deep.
And all 4 defenders staying in their rush lanes. They would not allow him
and
to
it's
get to
blocked.
the outside.
Once again, a great job by ETSU in the punting game.
Ruling on the field, the punt was blocked by the defense. First down, ETSU.
Jackson Crosby, a wide receiver, wears number 2, surging right up the middle. And special teams coming up huge right here.
There's a missed block by that punt unit, and there were some issues earlier on some previous punts, and now it pays off, and Will Hilly's team is going to get the ball back here on the 5-yard line because of their special teams unit coming through.
Well, big turn of events right here in a game that's had its fair share. Freshman quarterback back in there. His 100-yard rusher, Albritton, almost gets to the end zone and brings up second down and goal.
That's the end of the third
It'll
quarter.
be our final play of the third quarter. Well, the Catamounts had a 4-point advantage at the break. ETSU looking to extend their 3-point lead as we head to the fourth in the Blue Ridge Border Battle on Ingalls SoCon football. It's been an ongoing project throughout this season behind the visitor stands here at Whitmire Stadium. They put the final beam in place. Legends like Steve White, the longtime former sports information director here at Western Carolina, signed his name on it. A $37 million project. They'll have a new press box, new amenities for fans during games, football offices, the first phase of a multi-phase project they have going on here. But you see what the process and the progress has looked like from the summer here into the fall, and now come back out live and you see they've got the structure in place. Now they got to get the carpet put down and the walls put up, and to start out this fourth quarter just like Western began the second quarter on that end of the field, it's a touchdown, this time by ETSU on the short plunge, and they extend their lead.
Created from the block on special teams, and what a way to start this fourth for the Bucks. Stretching out this lead, they keep it on the ground. Albritton's really stepped up today. Over 100 yards, 115, Pete. He's been kind of one of those unexpected stars.
7th rushing touchdown this season for Albritton. Junior out of the state of Florida, came to them from Ole Miss and also played at South Florida. Been a milestone game for their kicker, Ewan Johnson, as well. He became the 6th player in program history to hit the 200-point mark. There's the leap into the end zone. And just as they had to start things out with a 10-0 lead after one quarter, ETSU's gone back in front by 10. But fear not if you're Western Carolina, Dave Friedman. They have Teron Dickens at the controls of their offense.
Yeah, it sure feels like it's on Teron Dickens at this point. He's a major candidate for the National Player of the Year, for the SoCon Player of the Year. He leads an offense that's #1 in passing in the country, #2 in first downs, #3 in total offense. He leads the country in passing touchdowns. Tyree leads the country in receiving touchdowns, and I have no doubt, Jay, we're going to see a whole lot of Dickens and company here in the fourth quarter. The question is, what can Will Healy do, not necessarily to stop him, but slow him down enough to hold on to this lead?
Dave, you're correct. Will Healy knows what's lurking, and that's Dickens exploding in the fourth quarter. It always seems like he plays his best when his team needs it, and he knows the talent that he has, and these moments where he's got pressure on him, he always comes through for his team. He's got to slow him down and continue to change up the looks to limit the ease of him in the pocket and hope that they can create another turnover.
You know, the touchback with the ball at the 25-yard line. It was a big fourth quarter last Saturday here at Whitmire Stadium. Catamounts saw the late lead they'd taken get away. Well, maybe it'll come down to a final play of the game here. Townsend out of the backfield. Taken down to the turf. Been an active day for Trevor Moffitt, linebacker. Picks up 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5 early on here in the fourth quarter. Interestingly, that on the same end of the field, both the second quarter and fourth quarter began with a short touchdown plunge. Townsend for Western back in the second, and then we saw Albritton for ETSU. That's Townsend with the grab, and they'll mark him for the first down.
This drive continues on. A good job there just reading the coverage and staying patient in the pocket and dumping it off to Townsend.
Dickens closing in at another 300-yard passing day. Could get to it right there. Passes complete. Tyre. He has become Mr. Reliable this year. They had a really good underneath receiver, A.J. Colombo, but they lost him for the season to injury. Tyre, though, has filled that role nicely. He's in ETSU territory.
And that was a fantastic route from Tyre. It was a deep crossing route, just working in and out, weaving through the coverage. And Dickens, he threw it across his body because he had faith that Tyre would end up in that open area between the safeties.
Isaiah Potts is the ETSU player who's down.
Player was presented injury before the ball was set for play.
Another one of those points of emphasis this year in officiating. If you first off look at that connection,
Yeah, there's Tyre coming through there in the coverage, and Dickens just holding on, waiting for him to break free. It's a big play through the air.
The fake injury rule, if you will, has changed as to how the game is impacted if a player goes down, but as you heard the definition from Bruce Austin, our official. So they'll attend to the injured ETSU player Potts, and we'll come back to Cullowhee in a moment.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? This week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the Warhorses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls. We're with you every step of the way.
Welcome to the Mass General Store. How can we help you?
The mission: sneak inside, give out Pepsi, don't get caught.
Just try it. Trust me?
Pepsi makes the carne asada taste even better.
Right? Well, I gotta go now.
You just got here. You can't leave yet.
I've been here for 6 hours. Wow. Thea, you are so strong. I have some more? More. Wow.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, it's my 3rd plate. Go without me. Just save yourselves.
Well, Isaiah Potts over on the training table moments ago on the sidelines. I don't see him there now, so they got him off the field. 1st and 10 for the Catamount after the ETSU injury to the defensive lineman. From the 46, empty backfield Dickens. Completing underneath, and Dutton, after making the grab, is thrown down to the turf with authority by Ty Anderson, an angry tackle for a guy who had to sit out the first half due to targeting. We're seeing a lot of underneath balls here on this series.
Well, right now they're only rushing 3, so the Bucs defense is willing to give up short passing plays. They want everybody to play back, especially after that touchdown from Rosin.
Pass complete. Blackman having a big game. That continues. Another first down for the Catamounts. Blackman his 5th catch so far. And they move the chains again. Out of the 30 where it's 1st and 10. So plenty of time to go. Not necessarily a frenetic pace between snaps. Out of the backfield, Townsend gets a block on the edge. And finally pushed out. Townsend originally set up to be in pass pro, but then got away from the man he was blocking. That might have been a check down, though. I'm not sure that was initially the intention of that play, but it gets some positive yards. It'll set up a 2nd and short. And once again, a defensive lineman hurting for ETSU. That's Keyshawn Harvey, Western Kentucky transfer out of Raleigh. And he's knelt down in front of the Catamount sidelines. Of note, I look out on the field, I see that Potts, who caused the previous injury delay, is back on the field for ETSU. And we've got another break in the action, so we'll take a timeout here in the 4th quarter with 12:30 to go. It's the Blue Ridge Border Battle. ETSU leads by 10. Western Carolina trying to tighten it up on Ingalls SoCon football. 45-35, 12:30 to go here in our fourth quarter. Another entertaining ball game at Whitmire Stadium, and another situation where the Catamounts of Western trying to rally to positively impact their postseason chances. Last week they were trying to put themselves in control of their own destiny for a first ever SoCon title. Now they need to win here to have any chance with the selection committee to get into the playoffs. Here is a connection on second down and room to run after the catch by Tyre inside the 10. Pushes down to the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
Nice work from Tyre, making something happen. When everyone's dropping out and the underneath is open, easy area for Tyre, but then you got to make somebody miss, and he did as they get inside the 5.
4th catch by Tyre, 3rd on this drive. I think Kerwin Bell probably realized his top receiver had really not been in the mix until this series. Blitz comes, throw in the flat, Townsend, and quickly taken down to the turf. Nice job in the open field. And the tackle made by Javon Oggs, the nickel, but there was pressure coming from the edge by Anderson, and that really forced the issue.
And that was a great tackle by Oggs, just jumping at the hip to bring him down. And right now, this defense tackling well, and this is where they want to bend and try to keep them out of the end zone.
2nd down and goal. You don't need a touchdown, you'd like one. Townsend catch, and then hit immediately. Once again, Trevor Moffitt in on a play. Came into the game with 16 tackles, but he has been a big piece of that ETSU defense.
Yeah, he's looked really good, and still plenty of time here for Western Carolina, but this is the goal of the defense. Keep it in front, let this clock continue to move and shorten this game.
3rd down and goal. From the 5, Catamounts 6 for 13 today. Dickens pressured, keeps the play alive. Looks to the end zone, he stumbled, and they are going to say he's down. And a loss back near the 12-yard line.
Dickens doing everything he could to try to stay up. I mean, that was pretty amazing, just getting out of the pressure. That's going to force the field goal unit to come on the field. Win for the defense.
It'll be an attempt of 30 yards for Trout. Well, he will try to shake the demons from a week ago. That was obviously much later in the 4th quarter. Kick is on the way. And it's no good, wide left. Pulled by Trout. It remains a 10-point lead. Look at the celebration by ETSU as they get the stop and allow no points whatsoever. Had the distance easily. We're at an angle where initially I would have guessed they would have said it got through. So a stop by ETSU. And ETSU offense, by the way, with the 2 quarterbacks, Criswell, and you see number 13, the freshman Bird. Criswell took a hard hit on a scoring drive that was completed by Bird on the pass to Floyd. And Criswell came back for another series, but Bird has returned and led them to another score. But on the day, 5 touchdown passes for the Bucks, and that ties a program record in a single game. Quarterback draw. Freshman hit at the line of scrimmage. Taken down. And a late penalty marker thrown in.
Bird's helmet coming loose.
So once again, a quarterback.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 5, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
Loses his helmet. He was doing what he's been coached to do and headed off the field, but
Number
Will Healy said,
stay in the game due to the foul.
yeah, it's going to be negated because of the fact that there was a personal foul, which presumably led to the helmet coming off.
Just got ripped off there. That was a quarterback designed run for Bird, who's very athletic. They're going to take this 15 yards. Ball be placed at the 42.
Wind really starts to pick up.
I expect this to be a slow drive for the Bucks. Huddle up, take the time, keep the ball on the ground. The 10-point lead.
Bird forced to throw it, diving attempt, and the catch is made by Browder, the tight end. Looked like that was going to be too low to arrive, with Browder having a chance to catch it.
Well, they're playing up tempo right now. A little bit surprised they're not going slower.
2nd and 6, low throw in the flat, incomplete. He was trying to get that to Keller, the tight end. And had that had just a little bit more air under it, Akeem Sykes might have had an opportunity for the pick and an open pathway to the end zone. 3rd down, 9:08 to go. Clock is stopped after the incompletion, but in a 10-point game, could be a very pivotal play coming up right here. 50% in the game, 6 out of 12 for this ETSU offense.
I expect Western Carolina to try to bring some pressure, try to disguise the look against the freshman.
Keller moves to the bottom of your screen. Bird hit as he throws, a pop fly out of bounds. He was trying to get it over to Floyd, and it again stops the clock. 4th down. Wind, by the way, it seems to be significantly more fierce up here in our booth than it does looking at the flags on the goalposts. And I think it will be a help for Brackett, the punter of ETSU, who trots out there.
They had 2 passing attempts incomplete. The clock stopped both times, and Jerry Odom bringing the pressure there on 3rd down. It paid off, forcing Bird to get rid of it.
They've been best this year with that speed they've got on D when they've simply sent a bunch of guys after the quarterback, and they've had to do that. Pressure that time, but Brackett gets it away. Thomas coming right up the middle, almost timed his jump perfectly. Wasn't a great punt, but it does the job, and it pushes the Catamounts back into their own territory. They'll go back to work offensively just inside the 30-yard line. So Teron Dickens and the Catamounts getting ready to go back to work on offense. First and 10 from their own 29-yard line. So the Catamounts get the ball back. The handoff to Townsend. Looks for room. Trying to turn the corner once again. Slung down on the tackle by the linebacker Moffitt. Teron Dickens means everything for these Catamounts and their offense, and more from Dave Friedman. Dave?
Yeah, Teron Dickens, when he's at the helm for Western Carolina, has been a difference maker. The problem is, guys, with Dickens in the lineup, they're 6-1 and they average 42 points a game. They're going to need more than 42 to win this one. So the numbers are great, over 500 yards a game when Dickens is in there. You're going to tack on to this one 76% completion percentage, but my oh my, they're running out of time here. Now Dickens is great and he can score in a hurry, but you're down 10, and it seems to me, Jay, they want to score on this drive, or maybe need to score on this drive.
Yeah, Dave, I agree with you. They have to get points, and they have to go quickly too, and they have the quarterback to do it. But to your point, Braden Atkinson has been fantastic along with Dickens. Those two have really been stars in this league and throughout the whole nation with their play.
This time it's Pat Boyd in the flat. You saw in the previous play Kerwin Bell barking at the officials, wanting a penalty marker thrown as Townsend was hit at the end of that play right there in front of the Western Carolina sideline. 2nd and 5 on the swing pass to Boyd. Back in ETSU territory. Dickens. Middle for Boyd. 1st down. Room to run. Right up the middle of the field. Stays on his feet all the way inside the 10. Hadn't seen anything of Pat Boyd in the opening half. He makes his presence known here in the 4th quarter. It's 1st and goal.
Credit Boyd with the big play. Sloppy tackling from the Bucks. Just nobody fitting up as Boyd gets it. Short pass, and then you got to rally to the ball. No one is there. The speed just takes over.
Picked a good time for his longest reception of the year, but on the handoff, he is hit and dropped in the backfield. Big surge in there by Brian Alston, the defensive end out of Birmingham, an Arkansas State transfer. 2nd and goal at the 10. I think you've got to get 6 here, and Trout, who had plenty of distance on the 2 most recent field goals he's missed, probably is not in the best state of mind right now. But if you get a touchdown here, you'd be within a field goal. But you may be thinking you want to try to get 2 touchdowns and win this thing. In regulation, Dickens sees the opening, reaches for the goal line. He stopped about a yard shy. It looked like he wanted to throw, and then suddenly the realization that he had plenty of green turf in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to find a receiver and then just took off. That spin move was special, though.
3rd and goal, closing in on 6 minutes to go. And I think the Bucs got another stop to bring up 4th down.
Huge. I mean, sturdy up front. And Western Carolina, they've got to go for it here, but they were hoping to get in, and now, I mean, this is it coming up here on 4th down with an injury.
Trevor Moffitt appears to be the player down for ETSU, and it looks like he took a hard hit. They are out to attend to him right there on the edge of the end zone. And so we'll take a timeout. Catamounts, a huge 4th down. Their season may rest on it in terms of extending it beyond next week's game. Pat Boyd has made his presence known on this drive. Running back out of the backfield, takes the dump off, and he took it on a huge gain on that receiving play, 41 yards. Set him up 1st and goal. Well, on 3rd down, the inside handoff does not get him across. So 4th down, 10-point game, and you could kick a field goal down and bring yourself into a situation where it's a 1-possession game, but instead they're going to huddle up. They're going to send the offense out there. Keep in mind, Marcus Trout, his past 2 field goal attempts, he has missed on that end of the field, and they go Wildcat once again with their freshman quarterback on the field. Will Healy saw that, and he wants to talk about it.
First charge come out of the half.
So we saw Jordan Martin Durham earlier punch it on in for a touchdown in place of Dickens, and now a timeout for ETSU. It's the first one they've used this half. And Dave, on the sidelines, I don't know if you, I didn't see if Trout was warming up this time. I do now notice that they are having him warm up, but let's face it, there is the mental part of the whole thing. He missed the heartbreaker last week, missed one from reasonable distance about 30 yards early, and you got to wonder if that's all part of the consideration here for Kerwin Bell.
Yeah, you know, we talked to Kerwin Bell this week about the choice last week to try to kick the game-winning field goal, and he said, I wouldn't have done that 6 or 8 weeks ago. In fact, I didn't in a game against Wofford, but our kicker was so good for the last couple months, I had great confidence in him. You just have to wonder now if that confidence is waning.
There's Marcus Trout pressed into duty this year when the guy they expected to kick for them, Christian Lowry, was injured early on in the season. And Trout has been very solid. And I thought Kerwin Bell made a great point to say the guys had his back in the locker room. There was a little bit of rancor right after that game and they got in the locker room, but the senior leadership stepped up. So once again, it's the freshman QB, and that's Dickens who moves in motion. Low snap, could be disaster, and ETSU gets the stop again. The snap was low. Martin Durham able to corral, but ETSU was able to recover.
And the coaching staff comes out about 15 yards out on the field to celebrate and congratulate that defense. And it looked like he maybe was able to still find a crease to get in, but that lane closed quickly. And the defense once again standing strong on the play of the game to this point. There it is, the ball rolling back there, and the defense just flying over. Anderson with a big hit. Those Bucks jumping around, well-deserved play after that one.
Boy, Moffitt was injured, the linebacker, he's been huge. Alston's been all over the place. Oggs, the nickelback, has done some great work. And Anderson, who had to watch, probably gnashing his teeth in the sidelines in the first half. He had to sit out because of targeting. Now they just go with a tight set. At the very least, trying to create as much space for Brackett to be able to punt the ball, get this clock down below 4 minutes. Let's see, we've got to stop as after the fact it looked like there was a scramble. ETSU will keep possession. The other thing is that ETSU can use a lot of time right now. It's too early for Western to want to use timeouts.
The Bucks need to use this full clock. 28 seconds, let it tick all the way down before you snap the ball. Snap it within 5 seconds. Again, try to keep it on the ground, keep it rolling, or force the Catamounts to use the timeout.
Bird, end zone, throws, caught. Freshman to freshman, Harrison on the receiving end, a huge grab. He was able to get behind Sykes, and he's taken down beyond the 40-yard line.
Well, they're going against the grain. Usually you run the ball, play it conservative. No, they're going over the top. They're going for it all. You're on the 1-yard line. You have trust in your freshman quarterback in Bird, throwing it to your freshman wide receiver in Jeremiah Harrison.
And then nearly a game-changing play right there. Moore turned in time, almost had another interception. Well, we talked at length about the quarterback situation with Will Healy, and that was about his 2 grad transfers, McNamara and Criswell. Never did it come into the conversation that he'd have to lean on a freshman to rally this team for a victory in the 4th quarter. That was near disaster for Bird right after he made that impressive throw to Harrison, who's had a big game. 2nd down 10. This time Bird able to break through and into Catamounts territory. Submarine by Jamari Pierre-Lewis on the tackle, but it's enough for another 1st down.
Good play design, allowing Bird to use his legs. That's the strength to his game, is his running ability. And he protects the football. The chains move. Now they're going to huddle up here and take their time.
Closing in on 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. It was a 4-point lead for the Catamounts at the half after they trailed 10-0 after 1 quarter. They've limited this potent attack of Western Carolina to just 7 second-half points. 28-24 was our halftime score. Albritton, his first career 100-yard game. He'll add a few to that and bring up 2nd down.
And now I would expect them to keep it on the ground. And every time I say that, though, they go through the air. So we'll see how they decide to attack here. But you're inside of 4 minutes, 10-point lead. Yes, Catamounts have 3 timeouts, but right now you're in the driver's seat. You just want to shorten this game up.
What a gritty call by Will Healy and his offensive staff. Backed up with his freshman quarterback throwing from out of his own end zone. The 40-yard connection to give him some breathing room and give him the opportunity to take a whole lot of time off of this clock. High snap once again. Bird, boy, he's got a quick step. He's inside the 40. Slow to get up after making the tackle, Hayward McQueen.
Timeout, Western Carolina.
And now the Catamounts have to start using their timeout. So they'll have 2 more plus the 2-minute timeout, stopping the clock here with 3:15 to go. Well, as Kerwin Bell told Dave Friedman heading into the halftime locker room, this was going to be a 60-minute game, even though the Catamounts were ahead of the break, and you felt like they had a pretty good amount of momentum coming into the second half, especially because they were going to get the ball. Keep in mind, they had hoped to go 2 for 1, their head coach said, with a possession late in the first half and then the ball first in the second half. And neither of those panned out the way they would have wanted.
Yeah, they're in a position here. I mean, you've got to trust your defense to get a stop, and then give yourself a chance on offense. You're probably going to need an onside kick if everything works out, but it all comes down to this play. Your defense has to come up with something here. I would load the box area and just try to shoot gaps, do anything you can to dislodge the ball.
ETSU trying to hang on here and get a win next week against the Citadel and at least get to a 7-5 overall record and 5-3 in the SoCon. They were picked in the top 5 in the preseason poll. 3rd down and short, Albritton, and he's got the first down, and that's huge. Not at the point of the half where the clock will stop on a first down.
That was an interesting look with Bird in the backfield, but the snap going to Albritton, and Bird as the kind of fake option man. And right now, this Bucks huddle, you're in control, the clock is moving, and this is how you wanted this 4th quarter to go, keeping Dickens on the sideline.
And using another big chunk of time, closing in on 2.5 to go in the 4th quarter. Albritton on an offense that possessed the SoCon's top rusher at the start of the day. He has been the big story out of the backfield. That carry gets him a couple more yards, 125 rushing right about in this game. Best day of his career. Guy wearing number 21, Jason Albritton. Lithia, Florida. Played at South Florida for the Bulls, then at Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin, and he was playing for Will Healy and the Bucks of ETSU. Second timeout used by Kerwin Bell. 2:30 remains. Kerwin Bell, just a disappointing finish to say the least. Game that stuck with them and was still in his craw when we talked to him later in the week, but he told his guys that Tuesday they had to move on. And even though they had a sluggish start today, with the second quarter that they had to build that 28-24 lead at the half, you felt like they could bounce back. But Will Healy, give him credit, first year guiding the ship at ETSU, and he is 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from, well, let's say, avenging some of their tough moments from earlier in the year when they had some close losses. Could have been a different story for them. Albritton bottled up in a hurry, and a 3rd and final timeout used to save some seconds for the Catamounts. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Still the 2-minute timeout. So in a perfect world here, Catamounts would get a stop. Bucks will wind it down to that 2-minute mark, and then perhaps send Johnson out to try to add to a 10-point lead.
And for the Bucks, how about Jackson Bird and Criswell today? Their production, especially Bird coming in here. If you have an injury to the starter, he has performed very well. 2 touchdown passes, and they've got a chance here to really close this ball game out with a 10-point lead. And you know, this is a ball game we thought would be high scoring, but they've taken control here in the 4th.
Furman trying to finish strong. Wofford as well. Wofford on the road at the Citadel, and they're home against Chattanooga next week, and a Terrier team that got up to a miserable start. If they can win these final 2 games, would finish 500, and I think that would be one of the big stories as to how things played out in the SoCon season. Down in Macon, Mercer already with the automatic bid in the SoCon in hand could finish unblemished in the conference, and even with a Western Carolina loss, then they'd be in a position where they'd have the outright title. Movement up front, free play for Bird, throws deep, and it's caught for the touchdown. Harrison went up over the defender, the freshman with another score. What a day for these young Bucks. 5th touchdown of the
Offside,
season, his
defense
2nd of the
number 90
game.
in the neutral zone at the snap. That penalty decline results of the play. Touchdown ETSU.
And ETSU adds on. And how about this Jackson Bird? A 3rd touchdown toss, giving himself a stat line for the first time this season.
Freshman to freshman, and Bird coming through with a beautiful ball over the top, and Harrison. That one-on-one coverage, the defender was right there with his height, athleticism, hand-eye coordination just goes over the top, and what a day for these young Bucks, this whole team coming on the road with this output.
And Johnson makes it a 52-35 game.
Here's Bird, there's the offside. He knew he had a free play. No safety help over the top, and what a catch. Just draped all over, kind of turned his body and boxed out the defender, and Harrison. What a day he has had as he hugs Will Healy, and both these recruits are from North Carolina. Great job to get them into the program, and you see their talent.
Harrison out of Charlotte, 6 catches in the game. Up over 150 yards receiving. 3 touchdown tosses for Bird in relief of Criswell, and it appears that trophy is headed back to Johnson City, Tennessee. The Blue Ridge Border Battle, the Rock, taken from the Appalachian Trail, which runs not far from either campus. Well, it's going to take a miracle now here in the mountains for Western Carolina. Went down to the final seconds last week, but boy, you got a feeling after that stop near the goal line on 4th down on the low snap to Martin Durham, and ETSU got the hold that might have been the dagger, and then they have added some insurance. Boyd lets it go. We've talked about Teron Dickens' prowess. Better see it in full force right here. In a 3-possession game, 2:18 to go. Well, disappointing turn of events here in November for Western Carolina. They took the field last week with a chance to put themselves in control of their own destiny toward a first SoCon title, but here they are, just 2 minutes and 18 seconds away from essentially being eliminated from a chance at getting to the postseason. Dickens to Tyre, hit hard. Tyre knocked to the turf promptly after making that grab out in the flat. Mike Jenkins, the safety out of Summerville, South Carolina. And the Catamounts unable to get a snap off before the 2-minute timeout. We will take our final timeout here in Cullowhee. ETSU, a 52-35 lead, late 4th quarter on Ingles SoCon football. ETSU's defense, big part of the story in the game. Although they allowed 507 yards, they've come up with some huge plays. And their offense, by the way, a new program best 6 touchdown tosses by 2 different quarterbacks in this game, most ever in a contest for ETSU. Going underneath, Townsend can get out of bounds to stop the clock and pushed out. Hard contact in the flat by Jimmy Bowdry, the corner. Clock stops, 1:53 to go. Moves the chains. Well, Kerwin Bell and the Catamounts will look back in this game. Some critical moments, and really critical moments on each side that swung momentum. That 4th and goal play, and really that whole sequence after the pass to Boyd got him in close. Unable to convert. Tyre, let's see if he has enough for the first down. They'll need it to stop the clock, and not only to move the chains, and they will at least get that. That's the thing. Every pass you make now has got to be at least 10 yards because you need time with that clock stop to get reset. Now in Bucks territory. Dickens pursued, and he's taken down. Scramble for the ball. They do say it came out. Well, the action was forced coming off the edge by Chris Davis of the Bucks.
That pass rush has been working hard all day long, and when they've been able to get to Dickens, they've done it with speed and power. Some good-looking athletes along that front for the defensive line.
Nick Hunter was also there. They keep bringing pressure. Dickens trying to find his receiver, Thomas, but it'll be ruled an incomplete pass. Stops the clock with 1:05 to go. On the sack, Dickens was taken down back at the 49, so this will bring up a 3rd and 17. Well, an unfortunate turn of events here for the home folks, but what a great road trip this has proved to be for the ETSU Bucks. Rossin, he stopped. It'll bring up 4th down. Again, they'll have to get quickly to the line of scrimmage. And player down, Anderson. He's off screen right now, the linebacker. He's hopping off. It appears he has a legit cramp because we have the coach's booth for ETSU to our right, and in unison they screamed for him to not go down. But I think it legitimately is a cramp. I think he realized the strategy there is just to make the clock keep going. Instead it stops with 52 to go, but that was one of those behind the scenes comical moments that we get to.
ETSU.
And now the Bucks will use a timeout.
30-second timeout.
It's been interesting throughout this ball game. I'm kind of closer to the window, and when they've scored or there's been big plays, it almost feels like an earthquake over on this side, or the window kind of shaking a little bit because the coaches are excited, or something goes wrong. They're kind of the same reaction the opposite way. So kind of been moving a little bit here and feeling some of the effects from the coaching. There's about 5 or 6 of them in there too. It's not 1 or 2, it's 5 of them in there.
You see them on the far left end, and one of the guys sticks that off. It was almost like, that's you.
Here's me with my.
So point over to the booth to the right.
So I'm right here.
Yep, and then they're right there. It was almost like a choir. It was like a choir broke out into song all of a sudden when they saw Anderson go down on the turf.
That was a great look.
That was a comical moment. At least from our standpoint.
I'll report back if there's any more movement here with the coaches.
Let me know if something else happens. Well, the Bucks, a team that I think they know to a man they're better than what this win will get them to, 6-5. And 4-point losses to Chattanooga, Mercer, and outside of the conference against a very good West Georgia team. Or else this would be a much different story for them. Dickens with pressure wide of the intended target. ETSU will be able to go into victory formation. They will even this series in the 55th all-time meeting. They will get a 27th victory. There has been 1 tie. And the ETSU Bucks coming in and profoundly impacting the postseason picture, not only for the Catamounts, but for the Southern Conference, as it appears the champion Mercer will be the lone representative in postseason play for this league.
This was a huge victory on the road against such a great Western Carolina team, and Will Healy first year here, and this is one of those wins that they're going to celebrate and watch this film and really like what they see.
I mean, you never know. It's based on a committee, but I think in reality, even if you're the most optimistic fan of Western Carolina, and for that matter, if ETSU goes 7-5, they would say they're a 7-win team. But chances are this will again be a situation where only the champion of the conference is able to get to postseason play. Should be our final snap. So many great performers on both sides of the ball for this ETSU team. And the Bucks in this Blue Ridge border battle will take the trophy with them back to Johnson City, Tennessee. Will Healy, Kerwin Bell about to shake hands at midfield. First-year head coach for the Bucks, able to hang on to the rivalry trophy. A 52-35 victory on the road. And you see the head coaches, both really great guys for us to chat with leading into the game and helping us out get ready for this contest. And you know, Will Healy winning in his first matchup against Western Carolina as head coach at ETSU.
This was an exciting game, and you said it, both programs are in a great place with the leaders. And East Tennessee State coming in here. Again, this is a big one, and next week, final game of the regular season. This season has gone by fast, but I'll tell you, this was a fun game to watch, and both teams competing at a high level.
Not sure what the specific nature of the attention that Teron Dickens was getting. May have just had some tape taken off his ankle, and he's back on his feet and exchanging a handshake with Anderson, the linebacker of the other team. So ETSU Bucks winning this rivalry game. We've got a whole bunch still to come your way this weekend from Cullowhee. Ingles SoCon basketball, Stetson and Western Carolina, an ASUN SoCon Challenge Bowl game at 1 p.m. from the Ramsey Center on Sunday. And then stay with us for our women's game, number 6 Oklahoma against the Catamounts. That's an exciting time for Jonathan Sippis and his Western Carolina Catamounts. That's at 3:30. Next Saturday, we're back on the gridiron. We'll see these Catamounts again up in Lexington against the VMI Keydets. The season finale, regular season finale for Western Carolina and VMI next Saturday, a noon kickoff from Lexington. Hope you join us for all of that. Thanks to our wonderful crew here in Cullowhee this afternoon, and thanks to our fabulous sponsor, Ingles Markets. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. ETSU, the road upset. They'll hold the trophy for another year in the Blue Ridge border battle, 52-35 for Jay Sonhalter and Jay Friedman. Pete Yanity saying so long from Cullowhee. All things considered, that was one of our better shows. That was a chart.